Thanks for subscribing.
I wonder how well I can be heard on the stream. Oh boy. That's scary. I think it's like a 5-second delay. It's actually not that bad.
Hello, Factory. I did play some of it.
Actually, I hope it doesn't take an hour for us to get you going, but we'll see. It's fine. If you depart early, the passengers will be happy.
Well, okay, everybody, I think we might as well get started. You can hear JPC and I in the background visiting a little bit, and you can see in the foreground the Toliss A321 Neo. Very excited to learn this plane, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So, hello, welcome everybody. Real quickly before we get started, I want to thank Rock Valkyrie for 25 months, man. Doggone it, my friend. Thank you so much, Skull. Yes, I am sipping on wine tonight. I hope that's okay. A little mixture enriched, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm just really nervous to work with JPC. I heard he's quite the taskmaster, and so I'm kind of nervous about that. So I had to turn to the wine. Just kidding, JPC. Smitty, hello, welcome. Smitty's going to fly along with us, as is Rob Valkyrie. And there's Scott, the original Godspeed. Yeah, so if you guys want to fly along, we're in Bozeman, and it's going to take a little bit. So here's the plan. This is a brand new airplane to me, and I am lucky enough to have Mike Sinante, who, as most of you know, is a certified Airbus pilot and flies this family, this A320 family, which from what I understand includes the A320, the A319, the A321, and the Neo. And so yeah, he offered to give me some pointers and just kind of help me with my very first ever flight with it and make sure that I don't bend the airframe and all that good stuff. So you'll hear Mike in the background. He's on the Discord, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. You're to my right, Delta. Oh, there you go. There's Rob Walker. He's also in the Toliss, and yeah, so it should be fun. So anyway, let me officially welcome our tour guide here and the unofficial CFI of the Melvin Leroy channel, Jet Pilot Cinnamon. Mike, thank you so much. Welcome.
Thanks for coming in today.
So
Happy to be here.
yeah,
See if we can figure this out together.
absolutely. So the first question I have before we jump in here, and we'll let everybody kind of get settled in, is from what I understand, and I've kind of dragged my feet a little bit with Airbus, but from what I understand, the A320 and that family is the most produced passenger airline currently in the world right now. I don't know if it is this year, but I was when I was researching it, I know that more of these are produced than any other type of airline. So I'm not trying to get into the Boeing versus Airbus debate, but
Teacher, Scrappy.
you've spent quite a bit of time now in an Airbus. What do you think makes this plane so popular with really all the different airline companies, and just why is it so popular?
Because it's so stupid easy. It really is. They designed this airplane so that 200-hour. I hate using this example on stream, but like 200-hour Pakistani pilots can go and fly it and be safe in it. It's designed to be real easy and real safe and protect you in a lot of different ways from really kind of putting yourself in danger.
Well, I like I say, I resisted for quite a while because I didn't want to be, kind of that guy. But I have always had an interest in these. And then when I finally budged and I got the A300, which is only a distant relative to this plane, I'm like, okay, at some point in time I'm gonna have to get a more modern. I have the 737, and I'm like, I might as well get the A320, which is kind of the Airbus equivalent, just to see what all the fuss is. And with X-Plane 12 being here and this being one of the first planes, kind of this type of plane to be updated, I'm like, what the heck? It's a perfect time. So and then your offer to help me out, it was just like all the stars aligned. So anyway, here I am. All right, so let's
I will
let's
see if I can figure it out because I've never done the Toliss before, so there might
yeah,
still be some symbolisms we have to work through.
absolutely, because I know you're familiar with the Phoenix.
The
And
Phoenix.
yeah, okay, which I was on the fence. It was gonna either be that one or this one. And to be honest with you, if you're from Phoenix and you're watching this, I tried to buy your product using PayPal, and your website would not let me. And so I went to the Toliss website and spent my money
Ooh,
on Toliss. So anyway, just so you know, feedback. Um,
ouch.
you might want to check your PayPal button because it ain't working. But anyway, Rob has both. Cool. Hey, and by the way, Good Fixins is here, and welcome. Push button, go flying. That's right. All right, let's hop in. And we are cold and dark. The coveted, everybody wants
Apparently it's
cold
raining.
and dark. Yeah, yeah. So first question before we get started, and I don't want to turn this into this huge 5-hour lesson, but one question that I always had, regardless of plane, is, and my panels look really weird.
Yeah, why do your
What
panels
is
look like that?
oh my gosh, I have no idea why.
That's awkward.
What state do you more commonly, like when you come onto the flight deck? What state are most of your airplanes?
I mean, it depends. If it's the first flight of the day, it's going to be cold and dark. But if it's not the first flight of the day, it'll probably be running. It'll either be APU running or GPU powered. Either way, I would say most of the time it's actually running because unless you're the first flight of the day on it, then it'll be cold and dark. But my company usually keeps them running all the way through the day until they're ready to be put to bed.
All right, we're gonna take a look and see. I should have cold and dark. Well, I don't know why this looks
Yeah,
the way it
is it
looks, but
GPU hooked up?
no, I don't know. I don't honestly know. Let's come up here and
You're gonna have
see
to hook up a GPU. Yeah, it is
external.
available. So turn that on. It's the very first thing we can do.
All right,
Like
there
I
we
said, I'm not
go.
gonna go through every little nook and cranny of this pre-flight. We're just gonna get it powered.
Awesome.
Make sure that turn the batteries 1 and 2 on. Should have done that
See,
first
that
actually before
looks
turning on the
this
external
this
power.
all looks very, very like this doesn't look right. Like I've got a glitch here. I'm gonna
Yeah, something ain't right.
I'm gonna reload, guys. It's been sitting here for a while, and honestly, this could be livery dependent too. So um, I'm gonna load up a different livery.
Rob Valkyrie says into Toliss screen. What does that mean, Rob?
There we go.
Oh,
This
there you go.
looks a
Yeah,
little
you
bit
see, you're
better.
not glitched anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Could very well have been the fact that I've been sitting here for an hour. I don't know, or just could be that livery too. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, go ahead, sir.
So really, the first thing that we do when it's cold and dark is obviously we have some flows that we would do. Again, not really super worried about it because this is just switches off. So you're gonna see everything's either off or white when it's powered off, cold and dark. Then when first thing really important is get the batteries on, and then if it has external power, you power it up. And that's the first thing we do is establish power. And then once we establish power, then we kind of go through our flows. In this case, the flows, all we're really doing is we're making sure all the switches are where they're supposed to be, which it looks like, just looking at the overhead panel, they all are. And then we would test the oxygen, and we'd set up our, our PFD, our ND, make sure we've got everything set like that. So if you want to go down to the main, this is where you get the screen, turn the screen brightness up, and make sure, you see that's all loading up. We also got to, that's what we should probably do. We should probably align the IRSs. So go back up top. And you can go ahead and one at a time, wait, one at a time. You go, it'll say align, it'll be on bat, and that just went out. That means the test is complete. Now you can do number 2. So you turn it, you see the on bat, it's testing, you make sure that goes off. And then you can do that one. And you always go 1, 2, 3, and then when you turn them off, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
But you don't need to do anything else. They're aligning now, you're good to go. So you can go back down. And we're just looking through. Everything looks like it's pretty well set. You check, get the brightness up on everything. This is where we'd also set like the comm panel for any of the frequencies, like the RAM frequency, ops frequency would be on comm 2, and the ground frequency would be set and ready to go on comm 1. If we have already gotten our clearance, which we haven't yet, but then we would set the transponder, make sure it's auto. If it's pilot 1, you'd be set to 1. If it's the FO, you'd be set to 2. And so on and so on. But those are nitpicky things we don't really have to worry about in the sim. That's more of just a
we'll go ahead.
Procedure for the real deal.
I'll go ahead and set the nav radios, and I'll go ahead and set the transponder just to get it out of the way and make sure. Here's the thing. The other thing about this is there could be some serious glitches that are about to happen, because I have not literally the junior first officer has 30 minutes of flight time in this plane, and that's the most it's been in the air. So there could be, it could be glitch city here. But anyway, we'll we'll deal with that as we're going.
What is it saying on the ECAM there with those cautions? Nav out discrepancy nav. Oh, you got to make sure that the nav barrel references. Check in, make sure that your both of your altimeters are set the same. So 299, whatever, set them to the appropriate altimeter.
Okay, so
if they differ at all, then you actually
gotcha. It's a super low altimeter right now. It's 2922.
Yeah, so make sure the other one's set across the way too on the FO side. That's where that nav barrel reference discrepancy comes from.
Take it back, 2929. But yeah, I'll set both of them. Okay, so that makes sense. Then we'll move over here.
Go to the FO side.
Yeah.
Yep. Set that.
Where was that? That's up here.
The nav altitude's got to be a simism, but I bet you that gets right when we go ahead and start doing the MCDU. So now you're in a certain range. You see how it's up? Yep, it's all gone. Look at that.
Yep.
Yeah, fancy.
I want to welcome in Good Fixins. I want to also thank
right.
Jay Smitty.
So airplanes running, the IRSs are aligning.
Merry Christmas, buddy.
You turn the flight directors off, so you see how the flight directors are already green. The FDs, turn both of those off.
All right.
Okay, all right. Now we're pretty much where we need to be, I think, to start going into MCDU. So you're just going to go right into the MCDU now. And we're going to start doing what is known as, at least my company uses, diafrips. DIAFRIPS. I don't know if you want to write that down.
I've got, part of why I'm doing this is to record it, so I will definitely write it down after.
Diafrips is data. All right, if you want to write that down, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, man. I'm gonna let the video record it, and then I'm going back afterwards, and I'm gonna take some notes. So I appreciate that kind of stuff. I appreciate you sharing.
Diafrips is data, init A, ATC, flight plan, RADNAV, init B, performance, and secondary flight plan. So that's what diafrips stands for. So that's the order in which we're going to load up at least the way my company loads up the box. There are actually other ways to do it, depending on which
Good
company.
fixins,
I'm just gonna do
yes.
the way I know.
These
so
are
you're
X-Plane
gonna learn the way
specific
that I know.
liveries.
So the first thing you're going to do is go click data. You're going to go to aircraft status. And you have the current air cycle. Look at that. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, indeed, it is.
All right, so you go to init. So now this is where my company, a lot of this stuff you would be able to hit a init request and it would upload through the ACARs. Now, if you had like SimBrief or something like that, you'd be able to get that kind of connected to your sim and upload that. But I don't know if you did something like that. Probably not. So I was going to say invalid. Yeah, so we're going to have to do it the manual way, which is fine.
Yeah,
but
I have
a
that.
lot of that stuff would automatically load, and even the flight plan would automatically load in just from that init request. That's just coming through company stuff. So you can just go ahead and start filling those out. Don't worry about that company route at the top left. So yeah, just do the from and to. Put your flight number in. So American 816.
So I do have
Cost index. That's also just depends on the company. The company I work with, the cost index is normally 35.
All right, we'll go 35. SimBrief gave me 5, but anyway, I did try
and then
to
you cruise, and then that temp is what your temperature would be at cruise.
All right,
so I don't know if you have any idea what the temperature would
that.
be at your cruise altitude there.
Yep. So 350 is cruise, and I can come down here on SimBrief.
Yeah, so figure out whatever temp is going to be at 350, and then you would put that. It's going to be negative something, of course, so you would put that in there as your temp.
All right, top of cruise right now is minus 53.
Chilly. And then also the tropopause is something you would get on the flight plan where the actual tropopause is. I don't know if that's something you could even pull from what you're looking at.
I don't know what that is.
So the tropopause is just where the actual tropopause is. I wouldn't worry about that. It's probably not going to make a big deal. Just put in like 40,000 for that. We'll just pretend that that's what it is. It doesn't really do much, but...
But tell me what that is, though.
It actually tells you where the level of the tropopause is, like the average altitude where the tropopause is in the atmosphere for your flight. And it varies all day.
Okay.
It's not like you don't just in space, the tropopause, the stratosphere, the levels change. They're not like set levels. They have like an area where they are, but depending on temperature and conditions, it's different. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I bet SimBrief has that somewhere. I'll look for that afterwards.
Okay. So
hey,
that's
Jim.
that's all you need to do now for the init A. So now we do the ATC stuff. So go to ATC com. I'll just tell you like what we do in real life, but none of this is going to matter too much for VATSIM purposes. No. On the MCDU, there's ATC com.
Oh.
All this that we're doing right now is MCDU. You don't need anything else in the airplane right now. So yeah, we would have connection for like CPDLC, message record for company stuff, but you're not gonna be able to do any of that through VATSIM. So the A kind of gets left out for VATSIM purposes. So then you go to the F, which is flight plan. And now again, normally we would have a company who would kind of have a route already just loaded in.
Brendo,
and you do have
hello.
something loaded in. Is that the route that you plan to fly or no?
So, it is, but I did go through. I thought the procedure to get it loaded up, and that's all it is. It's a very short. That's all it is.
Okay, and that's fine. Then we're good. So up near the top left where it's next to Bozeman, so 1L is essentially what the key is called. You click that, put your departure runway in. Oh. No, you don't need to type it. Everything is push button. There's no scratch pad really per se for some of this stuff. So then if you're doing, which city are you doing? Are you just doing the Bozeman 6 or whatever?
Bobcat 4.
So you do the Bobcat 4 and Boise, B-O-Y, right, is what you had on the right side. Insert. Boom. And use the up button. The up button. It's like a scroll wheel. So think of like Price is Right.
Yeah.
It's just a big scroll wheel, so the up is gonna make it go in one way, and the down makes it go the other way, and you can see it. It just keeps going in a circle. So if you just kept clicking up, it would just keep going in a big old circle.
Yeah, that's consistent with the A300 also, so that's good.
All right. So now go down to the destination. Bottom left. Nope. Return. Bottom left. You want to click that one. Yes. Now click top right for arrival. And you pick whatever approach you think you're going to get over into Denver.
All right,
It doesn't have to be accurate. We
check
can switch it later down the road if we need, but usually we pick what we think it's going to be.
I'll check the D8 here real quick. Welcome, and by the way, everybody, and I'm sorry I'm not going to be as interactive in chat today. I'm flying the A320 from Toliss for the very first time, and we've got Jet Pilot Cinnamon who's helping me out, and really already I've learned a lot. It looks like we're going to be RNAV visual 16 right, 16 left, 17 right. So I'm gonna pick 16 left because it's right there. ILS 16 left. But anyway, welcome in everybody. Friend all. Charlie 172 Juliet Hotel Jim. Hello. And anybody else, if I missed you, I apologize. But I need the Tishner transition or the...
I would probably do... Yeah, 16 left. Yep.
Okay, I don't see Tishner transition. I can do Jappy or Jeeper also. No? Oh, stars available. I'm sorry.
Probably 16 left.
So the stars, this is going to be the flate, sorry.
Yeah, so what's the star
There it
you
is.
use?
Dang it.
The floaty?
Yeah.
The flatty?
Flatty?
And then you have your
Tofu.
vias, so you have to scroll the vias.
Okay, no
Go back
via.
up.
Go back up. Tishner will be the vias. Yep. There we go. And then I need
Let's see.
the tofu.
Yep, okay.
Okay, so that's
There
a
you
little
go, to
that's
the
a
right.
little different. That's a little different, but okay, and then insert that.
Yeah,
Alright.
the via is for the actual approach itself.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. That makes sense.
So now you should have your whole flight plan. So now we'll review the flight plan. So click flight plan.
All right, so flight plan.
All right, now you actually do want to go up on your panel real quick. Leave that
Mm-hmm.
MCDU up, but go to your main panel,
Okay,
your glare shield panel.
yeah, I got to go to
You can
plan,
zoom
right?
out.
Come
Go to
on.
plant. Yeah, you get to like a normal cockpit setting.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go. Go to
Plan
plan.
right
Go
there.
to 10 nautical miles. So the button next to plan, you go to shorten it up as much as possible. Go to 10. And now you
Okay.
want to verify your route. So if you scroll your route and you look at your ND over there, you can verify and make sure. And also go back up a little bit real quick on the panel, the glare field.
Okay.
And you want to hit constraint, CSTR. Click the button CSTR.
PSTR.
There you
Okay. Okay. Oh.
And that'll give you the altitude constraints for the stars
Ooh.
and the SIDS and all that. It'll show up
Ooh.
now on your ND.
All right, so we're heading
now you
out.
can verify
Runway heading
everything.
down to
And you verify
Japer,
your entire flight plan.
to Bobcat. Then we head south to Zork Tools, Boyson VOR, which is just north of where I live, actually. Tofu, Ganola, Hippie, Folsom, Boco, and then we're on the Flate 1 arrival, Eldo, Be Safe, Tishner, JP, and this actually doesn't have any discontinuities, which is kind of interesting, but it takes us straight into 16 left. Rob, I see that you said 16 right there, but we're
Push you
just...
right into the approach.
Yeah, we're gonna
Denver is
just
pretty
roll
good like
with it.
that.
All right, sweet. So we're good there. Let's put this back to ARC, or do we want it nav? Well, no, ARC probably. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay, I'm ready, sir. Iowa Scotsman. Hey, Ron. How's it going? Let's go. You're gonna go 16 right? Okay, Rob. Man, you do you.
All right, flight plan's good.
So I see GPS
now-
primary, which means that the ADIRs have aligned.
Yep, so you can just clear that. So just hit the clear button.
Sweet.
Go back to flight plan. Click flight plan. Get you back to the top of the page. Click on the top left button. Nope, return. Sorry, top right button. Oh, you don't have wind or anything in here, huh?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a way we can enter this wind data because I was just reviewing that.
Yeah, return. Go to init. Go to IRS or wind. There you go. Maybe you can't access it in this. This might be a simism where you can't access it from the flight plan, but then you can
Gotcha.
access it from that page
Gotcha.
right there. And so yeah, you put your climb wind, your cruise wind, your descent wind.
Can I do a wind request? Do you think that would do anything for me?
See if it'll pull it. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
sure enough.
Next
So go next phase.
descent wind.
So it pulled. Go previous phase. So it pulled your climb wind, but it didn't pull your descent wind.
Okay.
So go next phase. So you're gonna have to manually just average a descent wind. So just put like 10,000. No, I do like 20,000 feet for the altitude, and then just do like an average wind on the descent. So go wherever your top of descent is. Go to the top of descent line, see what the wind is, and then just put that information in there.
So what I generally do here, I don't know if you can see this, Mike, or not, but I do have this wind information. And it gives me down at the bottom here. It gives me the descent wind. Can I just pick
Just
like
use
that?
20,000. Yeah,
Okay,
just use that
perfect.
exactly. So put that information in there. So 260 at 40, flight level 200, and you can just manually throw that in there. It's 260 at 40. You get no. So you got to put the clear that out. Clear that out. You got to put the direction, wind, and altitude. So clear it all out. So 260 / 40 / 200.
Ah, okay.
There you go. Beautiful.
Now,
You don't have an alternate, so you don't need alternate wind.
okay, and so like in the 737, like I'll put in 3 or 4 different.
You can. It's not
Okay.
going to make a huge difference, to be honest
Okay.
with you. Not going to make a huge difference.
All
If
right.
it was a super strong wind and not 40 knots, I
Ah.
would say maybe do it, but 40 knots isn't going to kill you.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so that pretty much concludes the flight plan portion. So now next is going to be RadNav. So let's say we're on, which departure are we on? I apologize again. For the Bozeman, which
No
SID are you using, sir?
Bobcat 4.
All right. Let me pull up my actual company charts because this is where we would look in. And let's say if we have like a special procedure for an engine failure, that's usually a company procedure, and we do fly to Bozeman. New flight. KBZN. Let's look at the SID. Do we have a special procedure? Oh yeah, we do. Do. So in this case, the engine fail procedure, it's a bunch of different things, but really what we're looking is there a specific VOR that would matter for an engine failure if we had to do the engine fail procedure? And in this case it is. There's the Bozeman VOR. So what we would then do is hard tune. So we would type in, instead of it being just like that, you would make it big. So type BZN and you would hard put those in manually into those VOR1 and VOR2, so that way they're manually in, and then you clear them out later when you get to, when you're climbing out. But that way, if God forbid we do have this engine failure, we know the airplane's not going to just switch VORs. It'll stay on the Bozeman VOR so we can get the DME from it that we need for an engine failure. You don't have to do that, obviously, because it's a sim thing, but I'm just telling you that's more or less what we're doing on this RadNav page. It also gives you the ILS localizer and the frequency for the runway that you're going to be departing. You can see that as well.
Okay, so let me pause you for a second. Where can I put in that information? I'm not seeing where I can actually enter a VOR.
On the MCDU. This is all on the MCDU. You type BZN.
Okay, so right now it has a VOR1 BZN
Yeah,
frequency.
but it's automatic. So you would to
Oh.
put it manually, you type over it. So you put BZN, and you'll see it's going to turn the letters big. Watch what happens. And do it in VOR1. I'll show you the difference. Yep. Boom. You see how it's big compared to the other one? That means you've manually tuned it for VOR1.
I see. So you would just want to confirm that. So like if those frequencies were already what you needed, you wouldn't necessarily need to do that.
No, we would do it because the plane does those automatically, but you want to have it manual for the departure sequence in case you do have that engine failure, so the plane doesn't switch it, let's say, for whatever reason automatically, and then you lose your DME that you need for any engine failure procedure. Again, this is real, like, super technical company stuff for if you were to have an engine failure. Not something you have to worry about, but I did want to show you.
Downwind Sim, I don't know if I said, hey, how's it going, man?
Okay,
no, that's
so
cool.
now,
That's cool.
RadNav is done. So now we're going to do a knit B. So you're going to go init again. You go to next, use the right arrow key. So that'll take you to the next page. This is where you put in your zero fuel weight, the fuel block that you have. So your block fuel looks like it's 15.4. And whatever your zero fuel weight is for the flight, you would put up in the top. So it would be, let's say if your zero fuel weight is 69,900, and I don't remember without looking at an actual flight plan. I don't know what one would be, but does it show up on your briefing that you have?
I had to change it because I had it in kilograms. I had to change it to pounds. So block fuel 15.7.
Okay. I see 15.4 on the thing. So you want to put the actual that you're showing. So 15.4 for FOB if you look at your ECAM.
Okay.
So put 15.4, and then you should have, again, the zero fuel weight.
Yeah, I'm showing 155, 131. So is that 15.5?
155.1.
Okay.
Boom, and now you get, it's showing you, if it's going to take you 0.4 to taxi out, again, you'd have that information.
We are
from the
stuck
company.
in the metric.
For reserve fuel, you wouldn't actually only have 5%. And
Rob,
you would
this
have
plane was
whatever
developed
reserve it
in
would take
France,
to get
man.
45 minutes. So I don't know why these sims always default to 30 minutes.
Well, they know that I get lost when I'm taxiing.
Again,
that's why.
Doesn't matter too much, but it shows you that you have about an hour's worth of extra fuel on board for the flight that you have in right now, and that calculates with all the wind information that you put in and everything. That's
cool.
Pretty accurate number for how much extra fuel that you have on board, and it gives you your takeoff weight, what your landing weight's going to be, so you can make sure that you're going to be below max takeoff weight, below max landing weight, for what the airplane is planning.
Gotcha. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you. That's
so
awesome.
That's your init B. Then you would go performance. So perf. And really, surprisingly, there's not a whole lot that you would do in here if it was the actual airplane. Now, again, a lot of this information would come from, through the ACAR, so the company stuff. The company's actually going to go and calculate all of your V-speeds and everything. Now, you might have the V-speeds on that brief that you have. Does it give you V-speeds and everything like that?
No, I
Flap
don't.
setting and all that?
I don't think it does.
And this is where it's going to get a little interesting. So,
I'm looking, but I don't know that I've ever found the V speeds on the SimBrief stuff.
Yes, it gives you V speeds.
Oh, Rob is saying yes. Rob, awesome. Welcome.
Go into your Toliss and that plug-in, that ICF screen.
All right, loading, performance. Let's see. Yeah, click through those.
Loading.
Okay.
Now
And we're
1F, where it says F, you'll see select. Hit 1F.
Oh, the flaps configuration. Yeah, no. So you don't switch that. Right next to it, you see the S/F config with the white select.
Right here.
Do
You're
1 plus F.
Right.
There you go. And now it gives you your V speeds: 144, 150.
And when you go into your perf, you'll see a flaps and a 2HS. You put flaps 1, and you put that UP 0.1.
Yeah, and that's your trim setting. So it's flaps 1, trim up 0.01. Or 0.1, up 0.1, yeah, so
Perfect. Okay, gotcha. And there's the
you have all that
flex.
information
Okay,
if you
yeah.
want to move your screen to the next. It gives you your flex temp and everything too. So now you just plug all that information in. V1, V2, VR, or V1, VR, V2.
Flex temperature goes in there.
Yep. So let's do one step at a time. So now again we have flaps 1. So you would put 1 slash up. You would actually spell up UP 0.1.
Oh, cool.
And then the flex temp. It shows you the flex
That
temp
was
as well. I think it was 67.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. Oh yeah, I would have.
Perfect.
Uh-oh, F. Wait,
And
format
then
error.
you also should get, usually you'll get thrust reduction, acceleration, altitude, engine out, altitude. Those are almost always the exact same. It's usually 1,000 feet above vehicle elevation. So in this case, if I'm looking at the company stuff, it's 5,500. So you can just do 5,500 across all those and make them big. So you can just do 5,500 slash 5,500. And then same for engine out, you can just do 5,500.
Okay. Sweet,
Boom.
sweet. Okay, cool.
And now you're done with the takeoff performance. So you could go next phase.
Hey-
I'm just going to show you real quick.
Hey,
So
before
click next
we
phase.
do this, Rob or anybody that's flown this, have you ever done the uplink takeoff data? Would that have given me all this? Do you think?
Probably would.
I just did it now. It kind of worked.
Okay,
So,
I'll,
yeah, if
I'll
you were
mess
to
with it
click
later.
click that button real quick. We can so I can show you uplink takeoff
I
data.
always use that
You
both.
could do receive takeoff data,
Put request.
and you hit the next button. So down the right button, and oh yeah, see it's a little different. So okay. Anyways, go back to simisms. Go back to perf. Just click perf. That's always a good way to get you back
You
to
gotta
page
hit
1.
that request.
Yeah, I know. Sorry,
Oh,
Rob.
gotcha.
A little different with the A cars and everything. All right, but let me just explain now. So there's your climb phase. So if you wanted to manually select a climb speed to hold, you would put it in the pre-select. Like let's say if a SID says maintain 250 knots into 11,000 feet instead of the normal 10,000 feet acceleration altitude, or you know what I mean, for the 250 below 10.
Right.
You would put 250 in the pre-select, and then you would just have to have either yourself or your co-pilot clear it out once you got past 11,000 feet. But in this case, we're not worried about that. So at 10,000 feet, it'll accelerate. So you manage 250.76, perfect. Next phase. This is going to show you your cruise speed now, and managed is going to give you 0.78, perfect. Next phase. Descent phase. Now, this is sometimes you can edit, and I usually descend at whatever my cruise speed was. So I would do 0.78, and you could do like 305 for the actual, and then that one you can mess around with a little bit. Sometimes you leave it managed depending on the situation, but that's perfect. And now you do next phase, and then this is where you would get the information for your landing speeds. This is going to give you your V approach and your VLS, and so how quick is this flight? This is a pretty quick flight, ain't it?
Yeah, it's only an hour.
So flight like this being so quick, if it's an hour, I wouldn't worry about it. We can, as soon as we get up to cruise, we can pull the weather information for. We'll get back to this when we
Okay.
get up to cruise. We'll pull the information
Sounds good.
for Bozeman or for Denver and all that. That'll be something to do in cruise. We should hopefully have time to do it. It is going to be quick, but we should hopefully have time to do it. If you had a short flight that was like less than an hour, you would put that information in right away and be like,
Gotcha.
just screw it,
Gotcha.
get the current weather, put it in. And then next phase, that just gives you what your go-around speeds are going to be with your current weights and everything.
Cool.
Now, the last thing you would do is secondary flight plan. Not something you're going to worry about in the sim. In this case, if we were, let's say we had an engine failure, what we would do is in the secondary flight plan, we would just put an approach back into Bozeman or whatever airport we were going to go to. Let's say if we had a takeoff alternate because the weather was real crappy in Bozeman. You would copy the active flight plan, but then you would make the new route to have Bozeman be the arrival airport. set up an approach into Bozeman. So that way, if you do have this engine failure, it's one less thing you have to do in flight. You can just be like, all right, activate the secondary flight plan. We're already loaded up for the ILS back into Bozeman. You know, let's get this airplane configured, and we'll tell ATC we're ready to come back in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not something we have to worry about in the sim right now. So, but that's airfrips.
Jay Smitty, I see your comment, dude. it takes
Any
many
questions?
people. No, that's good, man. That makes sense. Thank you so much.
So at this point, the MCDU should be all set and ready to go. So now you could turn
JW
on terrain,
Cruz.
and since this is a terrainy area, I would recommend that you put terrain on ND. I would activate that. Then you can turn on your flight directors. So you turn that one first, then the other one second. You always do the captain side first and the FO second, because captain side is 1, FO is 2. And now if you look at your PFD, you should see 1 FD2. That's showing that both flight directors are working appropriately. You've got alt nav in there. That's all perfect. It's all the way it should look.
Rob Valkyrie.
So now,
you're
what's
right,
the
buddy.
initial altitude that you would normally get on this SID here?
I'm checking right now.
16,000 feet. Is there any ATC on, by the way? There is.
Is there? Oh, good. Okay, cool.
I would recommend that you get a clearance from Salt Lake Center, who just signed online.
I will do that right now.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back.
Roger that. All right, you guys. So, again, for those of you that just joining, you can hear Jet Pilot Cinnamon in the background, a.k.a. Mike Sinante. You might recognize him from the Virtual USA Flying Club, and he is he's an Airbus A320 pilot, and he is so very nicely volunteering to give me like a little tutorial, just show me around and help me out in my initial flight in the A320 Neo.
Salt Lake Center, Delta 190 underground at Bozeman, IFR to Denver.
So I'm not quite as interactive with the chat as I normally am, but I am seeing you guys here, and I appreciate you guys checking in and saying hey, and I hope you get something out of this as well. And Salt Lake Center, American 816, also IFR request to Denver. Hello.
American 816, Salt Lake Center, hello, on request.
Cargo fire. Oh my goodness gracious.
Cargo fire.
I will be remiss if I
Downwind
don't
sims,
say
it's terrain on ND, downwind sim. Terrain on navigational display.
you are definitely one of the influences that nudged me towards picking this up. So welcome, good to see you, man. And apparently down with Sim, I'm missing a terrain plug-in. Jim, you're learning this too? Awesome, man, awesome. JW Cruz, by the way, hello, if I didn't say hey already. It is on sale, Cargo Fire, indeed. I picked up the Neo and the BSS sound pack again. You're a bad friend because you made me do it. You cyberbullied me somehow. Yeah. It's I'm all in, baby. I'm all in.
Delta 190 squawk 6071.
We're up here in Bozeman, heading down to Denver. You probably heard, short flight.
190 reback correct.
And I'm already like my mind is already leaking information out. And JPC has promised to give me the Reader's Digest condensed version, and only one chapter of that condensed version, by the way. But anyway, yeah, Cargo Fire, I think so too. Man. Edmund,
And then we'll keep moving.
go ahead for American 816.
American 816 cleared at Denver International Airport, Bobcat 4 departure, Boysen Reservoir transition that I filed. Climb by SID, departure frequency 120.27, squawk 6046.
Okay, cleared to Denver, Bobcat 4 departure, Boysen Reservoir transition. Venice filed with climb via the SID. Departure is with you and squawk 6046, American 816.
American 816, read back correct.
All right, 6046.
So you actually have to clear that squawk code out now. So click clear twice. There you go.
All right, Sweet.
Suffolk Center.
All right.
Jazz 204.
And now the climb via SID, so the top altitude on the SID is 16,000. So go up to your flare shield and set 16,000.
0717 for Jazz.
All right, good deal.
It should see, now it's correct. Now it says climb nav. That's exactly what you want to see because it's going to be an RNAV departure. You've got your altitude set. You should see climb nav on the scoreboard, so it is perfect, and everything is pretty much ready to go. You've got all of your fuel. You've got everything set. You've got your speed set. You're pretty much ready to get pushed.
All right, good deal. Okay, I'm going to call better pushback, and hopefully that works.
First, actually, wait, disregard. We gotta do one more thing. I apologize. We gotta turn on the APU so we can disconnect GPU. So why don't you go ahead to your overhead? Let's get the APU started. So master switch on. Now go down real quick. And you should see the APU. You see the on the lower ECAM. You wait 3 seconds, make sure it doesn't say oil low, which it doesn't, and then you can start the APU.
Departure frequency 120.27, squawk 6001.
So we'll let the APU start up, and then once the APU is started up, you'll see the flap open. That's good. Once it's all started up, then we can disconnect the ground power, and then we can push back. Almost forgot about that important step. Usually about 10 minutes prior to push is
Cargo Fire, I've tried to download X-Plane 12 specific liveries. We did have a little bit of an issue with the first one I loaded in. It had some weird kind of like the display panels looked like they had some power to it, and the text on the overhead was really weird. So I just switched up. And anyway, Edmund Stoner, hello. By the way, Edmund, thank you for the 8-month re-ascription, my friend. It is great to see you. Happy Tuesday.
So on the, you see where it says right below the lower ECAM, you have all those buttons that say like electrical, bleed, everything. Click the electrical page. Select. You want to make sure that the APU is now what's powering the airplane, which it'll transfer over. So now turn off the external, and this should transfer it over. So go ahead and do APU bleed first. Actually, let's turn the APU bleed on.
American 114, Salt Lake City
and disconnect the external. And it switches power. So now if you go and look at that electrical page, you should see that the plane's pulling the power from the APU, which it is, and you can pull the external power.
Alright, clear to Denver.
So you can pull the GPU.
Boise Reservoir transition that is filed.
I'm not 100% sure how to do that, so I'm assuming it's with that.
Yeah.
Go to the Toliss screen again. Go to ground services.
Crap! I've just I lost that screen. Okay, I've got it now. Yeah, it was over on my second monitor here.
Make sure your shots are
Disconnect. Yeah, disconnect your external power. Quick services.
Okay, external.
Turn that off, and the chalk's off. Quick services. There you go.
Okay,
your parking
sweet.
brake is on, so it doesn't matter. So now you can use the better pushback and
Router
push back.
cockpit, please show me where you want to go.
Yeah, we're gonna head up to runway 12, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this one going.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Lado Shears 97. On the radio button, you can click the mech, and it comes up with a dialog box for service. Very cool. Very cool.
United 1636, verify equipment code.
Man, we've got a lot of people flying with us today. This is awesome, you guys. Clearly, you have some kind of livery issue here, but that's. I've heard at least 2 other people, maybe more, heading down Denver way. So
if you want, we can do a before start checklist while this is pushing back. Obviously, listen for when they tell you to pull the parking brake and all that. But
all right, I'm ready.
all right, so fuel quantity we would
Okay,
check against
all
what's on the
doors
flight
and
plan. I'm
hatches
sure
are
it's
closed.
good. The ADIRs or nav, which they are. Flight plan and FCU is set. Passenger signs are on and auto. So if you want to look at your overhead, You don't have to actually do any of this. I'm just kind of reading. We've already verified, but go up on the top panel. Make sure your passenger sign seatbelt's on. Smoke auto. Smoke auto. That should also be armed. Yeah, forgot about that. That's on me. You also want to turn your crew supply on, so you see where it says off on the top left there. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. Sweet. So you can. That's all set. Altimeters. Make sure they're both set to the correct altimeter.
So connected.
I don't know if they need to.
29er. It looks
Release
like
parking
we
brake.
got that. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna release parking brake here real fast.
There you go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
All right, parking brake, we already turned it off because we're pushing. Transponder, set, we set it. Departure
Yep.
briefing. So I'll give you what a quick departure briefing would be. The weather is good out of Bozeman. We're taxiing runway 12. Worry if we have to cross any one-ways, we kind of brief all that kind of information. Clearance, so we're cleared as filed via the Bobcat SID. I got a climb and nav showing in the PFD, so it'll be nav departure up to 16,000 off of the right seat. If we, we're worried about the engine failure, we would brief the engine failure procedure right here and kind of go through all of that stuff, and then any other pertinent information maybe at the flight. In this case, it's a quick flight, only an hour long, so as soon as we get up to cruise, we're going to start programming and preparing for the VNAV descent and also the performance speeds for the landing, et cetera, et cetera. I would ask if you have any questions. You would say no questions, below the line. So continue the checklist. Logbook, which check, doesn't matter. Insignificant for the sim. MEL is insignificant for the sim. Nose wheel steering is disconnected. It is. That's why they're pushing you back. Doors and slides. So go inside. So click, let's see. So click off electric. Click off, because it should automatically go to certain phases. See, it's already on the door page. That's exactly where it needs to be. So this thing is smart. The lower recam has certain pages open at certain times when you need it.
Ah, nice.
So everything off. It should show you see doors and slides closed and armed. You should see 8 slides. Everything is green. So your doors and slides are closed and armed. Thrust levers are idle, and your cockpit door is closed and normed. So cockpit door would be on your center pedestal, your center panel down there. You would see go lower, all the way below, like cockpit door. Yep, normal, and it would be unlocked if you had a light, but the light out is good. Cockpit door is closed and armed. Your 4-star checklist is complete.
Heck yeah, buddy.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
All right.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
I was getting a little worried when the pushback guy started. I was getting a little bit worried because I had quite a rodeo pushback in the Saab the other day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright, so now, in this case, when the tug tow bar, we would wait for them to pull the tug in the tow bar, and then you would see tug tow bar, they'd hold up the pin, the nose wheel steering pin, and they would give you a wave off. They'd give you a little salute. So...
Cargo fire? No way, man. I picked that same plane up, buddy.
So
it's a great one.
It's clear to start, so go on your overhead panel.
Tow
Why don't
is
you go ahead and,
disconnected.
let's see,
Bypass
dual
pin has been
cooling on
removed.
here.
Hand signal will be on the left.
You're going to really enjoy that cargo fire.
It would be up on the top right. No, so there is so this is a Neo. Oh, I found something that the Toliss is missing. There's no dual cooling. That's a bit of a letdown. We're gonna have to write them up. All right, so that's insignificant. So let's turn your fuel pumps on all the way across the top there. Turn them all on. Boom, 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 boom. Should see a Y. Yep, that's all good. All right, so now you're gonna come down. So all that's good. Get your pack flow to norm. I don't know why it's on low. Pack flow. It's a switch. So go up. There you go. That should be norm. This is a norm lights off auto airplane. It wants to do everything on its own. All right, so to go down now to your igniters, back on the center pedestal because the APU is good. So go down. You're gonna put on start. So, yep. Ignition start. So, to the right. Okay. Now go to your ECAM real quick.
Oh gosh.
ECAM.
Sorry.
You should see, yep, they're light up. You see how everything on the up on the higher page, the upper ECAM. See how, boom, all that's good. There's no X's, no orange, good. Now you can start your engine number 1. So you go down to the 1, and all you have to do is flip that switch. Boom, and now the air engine is going to start. And you would start your timer. You always want to time your engine start. So go ahead and start the timer.
Is it?
So on your glare shield, chrono, boom, and you see it on your ND. So you start your timer. So now look at your lower ECAM. So you see how the left one is in the up position? That's showing that the valve is open for the air to flow to start the engine. As soon as that valve closes, you can start the second engine in sequence without the first engine even finishing its final complete start. As soon as that valve closes, you can flip engine number 2 switch to start, and it'll start starting the second engine.
Okay.
So you can actually have both engines technically starting at the same time in sequence, as long as the first valve is closed.
Someone in chat says there is dual cooling. I have the wrong engines. Pratt and Whitney have dual cooling.
Are you not
so
on the Neo?
I thought I was, but it's possible I'm not.
I see, and 1%. Maybe you're not on the Neo then.
Okay, well that's noted for something to check on for next time.
Alright, so look at that. You see how the ignition went away, and now the valve is closed, so now you can start engine 2. And
I
once
hear
those
the
gray,
famous
you see that gray bar on
APU or the
N2?
hydro dogs barking.
See the gray bars on N2 now on the upper ECAM? Once that gray bar, the first engine start is complete. The gray bar is gone, you see a veil, so you can... it doesn't matter right now, so we're just waiting now to start the second engine.
Ah, Lado. Okay, thank you, man. Thank you, man. So much to learn, you guys. I appreciate the information.
See, I didn't even know that because my company... See? Learned something.
Tim Dog, what's going
That's an
on,
American
man?
Airlines thing.
Yep, but hey, this is why I'm here. I want to learn. Definitely want to stay in the cockpit when you're starting engines. Just... I thought maybe we'd be getting some cabin announcements or something.
Delta 190. I got some screwed up scenery. I'm going to try to depart from Alpha 4. If I go any further, I'm going to fall off into a big ditch.
Alright, so now once the second engine is finished starting, we'll do an after start flow. So now, because you want your engines, you've been sitting cold and dark, so you want these engines to run for at least 5 minutes before you get to take off power. So you're going to hit the chrono button to reset the timer. So you click it to stop, click it to reset, and you click it again to start it again. Alright? Now you're going to go down to your ignition and put it to normal. So you put it back to the center. You're going to arm the spoilers, the ground spoilers, so pull the ground spoilers up. You're going to reset the flap, or the rudder trim, excuse me, so hit the reset button. It's already at 00, but you'd always click and make sure that those are reset to 0.0. And you're going to set your flaps. So in this case, we're flaps 1 for takeoff. And now you set your pitch trim. So your pitch trim should now become up 0.1. So you want to move your trim so that it gets to up 0.1. And if you move your joystick, or your yoke, or it should be a joystick, but whatever, on the lower ECAM page, you'll see it'll come up with the flight control page, so move your joystick.
Oh.
And you should see up 0.1 in the pitch trim. So it should be 0.1, so you gotta adjust it now to say 0.1.
I'm looking for it. 0.2, okay.
So you gotta adjust to 0.1.
3 miles southeast, Boyson Reservoir, level 3. Fly 100,
That's 0.1 down, you want 0.1 up, so hit your joystick again. Because you want to get that, you want to pull that page up, so you gotta hit your flight controls. There you go. 0.1 up, perfect.
United 1636,
Boom.
radar service
Okay.
terminated, frequency change approved.
In this case, now we would do an after start checklist. So engine anti-ice, we're not flying into visibility moisture for now, so that can stay off. The ECAM status is checked. That's exactly what it should look like. You could turn the APU off, actually, so let's go ahead and turn the APU off. So could APU bleed off
Hold short, runway 12,
first, then you turn the master switch off. And then in a minute, it'll shut down. So you actually have 1 minute to change your mind and turn it back on, but after a minute, then it shuts down. Alright, so now go down. ECAM status, it's checked. And rudder trim is 0. So your after start check's complete. You can ask for taxi.
All right, we'll give him a call.
Actually, real quick, before you call for taxi, let's do some of the before takeoff to the line stuff before you taxi, just because it's easier. It'll be easier for you to see it without moving.
Cool.
Alright, so let's see. So let's do flight control check. So this is kind of just a flow thing now. So check your flight controls. Full up. So let's do it in order. So full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, and then rudders. Full left, full right, neutral. And then the FO would have a flow now. So if you go to your FO side real quick, you would start over from the right, and I would just be looking to see, do I see climb nav? I do. Across the top. You're going to turn your brake, auto brake to max. You're going to go down to the below the lower ECAM. You're going to hit takeoff config, TO config. Near all those buttons, you'll see TO config right up on the top on its own there. So when you hit that, you should see, I don't know what it means by cabin check, but you should see, it should be takeoff no blue. So I don't know what cabin check means. I don't know how would you get rid of the cabin check? Does anybody that flies a Toliss know how to get rid of that cabin check?
I'm Brian. You're sorry,
That's
Pixie.
not something we have on our
Cabin check
call
is
button.
the
So hit the
call.
attendant call button. So on the up top, on the overhead, hit the attendant call button. Hit all. There should be calls. Just hit all.
I'm not sure where that is.
Lower left up there. Calls. Hit all. Boom. Okay. Now let's see if that makes it go away. Yep. So take off no blue. Perfect.
Awesome.
Cabin's ready. Perfect. All right. So now we do takeoff before takeoff checklist to the line. So flaps, you're gonna verify. So on your MCDUs, you should have one that's on the flight plan page and have another MCDU on the performance page. So click perf. Flaps 1, and then you actually look at the position of the flaps. So you see one on there and one on there. And then the FO would verify on the paperwork that it's flaps 1, verify on the performance that it's flaps 1, and verify that the actual flaps are 1. So it would be flaps 1 and 1, and the FO would call 1, 1, and 1. V-speed's flex temp. The captain would call it out, and I'd verify on the paper. So 144, 150, 152, flex 67, checked for runway 12. Pitch trim. So now hit your joystick again, and you would verify the pitch trim is up 0.1. Perfect. Flight controls checked. Flight directors 1FD2. And ECAM takeoff memo, takeoff no blue. To the line. You can start your taxi.
Salt Lake Center, American 816 is ready for taxi. Oh shoot, I don't have my Salt Lake Center, American 816 ready for taxi. I need to get my push to talk button set.
American 816, runway 12, taxi by Alpha.
12 via Alpha, American 816. Alright, here we go, boys. Oh boy, here we go. Welcome, by the way, Latishir, thank you so much for the follow. And I appreciate you guys being here. This is obviously a learning stream, and I'm having a blast. An absolute blast. Look at this. Look at this big boy. Well, medium boy. Apparently, I don't have the Neo like I maybe thought I did, so that's okay. There's going to be some glitches along the way here. We understand that. And I appreciate everybody who's providing help
so you
in
have
the background.
You're actually technically on the CEO, the A321 CEO instead of the Neo, I guess.
Okay. CEO is different aircraft.
Current engine option versus the new engine option.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
The CFM LEAP engine. See, I don't even know about that cargo fire because my company does not have those.
Awesome. Well, hey, there you go.
Sorry for clearing my throat, chat. It's that time of year.
Jim, I'm totally with you, man, and that's a big reason why I picked up this plane.
You can check ISC to confirm. You can set it in the ISCS. We're not going to do that anymore, chat.
Yeah.
We're not worried about that right now.
Yeah. We'll just rock and roll. But Rob, yeah, there's a little fix at the end here that you have to do, and I'm hoping that mine also isn't that way because
so
I
as you're
just
taxiing
loaded
out,
in.
you know you're getting close to the end runway, and you know you're going to be number 1 for departure.
Yeah.
You would do a quick thing you would do if you had, let's say ATC changed your route, you'd get any departure changes done and make sure all that's done. You'd call the cabin crew and make sure that they're seated for takeoff, but their cabin is ready, so we're good there. You would do a takeoff brief. So a takeoff brief would be right seat departure off of runway 12, nav up to 16,000. We'd also have like a fuel required that we get from our company paperwork. It would say like fuel required 15 or 14.5 to 15.5. We got 15.1 on board. And we already briefed the engine failure specials. Do you have any questions? Captain would say no questions below the line. Departure changes, no changes. Takeoff briefing complete. Cabin crew advised, and the packs are on. So everything up top on the overhead panel should be out in black. So when you get us stopped at the end of the runway there, we can verify that everything is pretty much out in black. And that'll be your cue that everything's ready to go. Boom.
Looks
Beautiful
good.
thing.
Looks good.
You're ready.
NATO Brano.
You can switch on your lights, so you don't have any of your lights on. We should
Yeah.
probably have strobe, auto, beacon on. Don't worry about the wing. You want your nav lights on, and then in this case, you are going to want your landing lights on as we're about ready to take off here. Yeah.
So NATO Brano,
Cough
thank you
data.
so much for coming in. Good to see you. I'm not a pilot, but the guy that I'm talking to is, and he's been a pilot for a long time, and actually a pilot of this type of aircraft. So I'm having a ton of fun learning. And anyway, that's where we're at. Salt Lake Center, American 816, shorter runway 12, ready for departure.
American 816, runway 12, cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, American 816. All right, so we're climbing B in the SID, and we're heading down
Beauty
to the
of the
Boise
RNAV departure is this is
Reservoir.
going to be so stupid easy.
That's what I need right now, buddy.
So runway 12, finals clear. Verify the finals clear. So you verify the runway. It is runway 12. Look to your left. Finals clear. So when you start your takeoff roll, you're going to want to roll your engines up to about halfway between where it is right now and that number 5 that you see on the upper cam, just to make sure that your engines are obviously, you don't have two different, do you have the two different throttles on the Bravo? You do, don't you?
I do.
So you make sure you rule them up, make sure they're spooling up at the same rate, because it'd be pretty hard to take off if only one engine's running, obviously. So spool it up about halfway between that and the 5 on the N1. So that's the 5, but that's fine. Make sure they're spooling up good, and you set it to flex. So you keep going. You're not going to want to go all the way. You set it to flex.
Jet, no 20 Papa Salt Lake.
Airspeed's alive.
Jet 20 Papa, clear to dash
80 knots, power
Check.
set.
Departure. Echo transition, then as filed. Climb by SID accepting.
Having a hard time holding the center line here.
Departure
Sorry, guys.
frequency 120.27, squawk 4, tree 5.
V1 and that blue circle is your rotate speed. V1, rotate.
This is FT2 Bobbery backtrack.
Pause the rate, you're up.
Salt Lake Center American
Why does it
114.
put you automatically to vertical speed and heading? That's stupid. Go back inside real quick. Can't have you do your cinematic right now because it's doing dumb shit.
Runway 1, follow the challenge.
Push the heading bug, push it.
crossing from your
So
red
click
line.
on it, push it. Heading bug.
Alright, runway 12, and we will.
I honestly don't know where that is.
Heading. On the, yep, push it. Right there. Heading 126, the button right below. Push the heading bug. No, 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 no. Click that button that you just clicked. Click the button that you just clicked. There you go. And now push the, pull the altitude. So you're gonna pull altitude. That'll put you in open climb. Pull altitude.
Is this altitude?
Below the altitude. See the altitude window?
No.
The altitude window?
No, no, I don't.
Up top? Altitude.
Altitude,
16,000. Right there. Pull it. Open climb. Perfect. That works. Now get to your flight director because you're all over the place with your bars. I don't know why the Toliss did that. Why did it take you out of nav climb? That's so that's a simism. So you can go ahead and do. I don't know why your auto throttle should have automatically came on. So you click auto throttle.
American 816,
Actually, pull your thrust
climbing
back to the
8,000.
climb. It looks like it is at climb. Yeah, make sure it's in the climb D10, right?
American 816, radar contact.
Yeah, it is. All right, so click on the auto thrust. Should automatically came on, but click auto thrust. Should AP 1 and 2, click auto thrust. Click autopilot 1 on. Now the autopilot's flying. That's what we need right now. There's a little bit of a simism on that takeoff. We're gonna have to take a look into that.
Well, and I should have.
Can I get a radar check from you?
I should have.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Delta 190.
But you do need to know where you're heading and all those things are. We'll explain more of that on
And
the
I'm
way.
sorry, American 816.
But all right, so
My
look on your
X-Pilot
PFD. You see
comm
you got
button's
the
not
S.
working. We're climbing through 9,400.
American 816, no worries. Radar contacts. Climb and maintain flight level 350.
You see the S on the PFD?
Climb and
you already
maintain
passed it, so you go
350.
flaps up. So flap 0. And then you would call for the after takeoff checklist. That's a silent checklist that the pilot not flying would do. I'm verifying that the gear is up, that the
Hey,
flaps are up,
Detective Crayon,
and that
what's
the
going
packs
on,
are
man?
good, which they all are. So the after takeoff checklist is complete.
I'm sorry, you were stepping on one more time.
There needs to be a dot by the out. Yeah, no, I just need to
And
get
now some
familiar with
airbus
everything.
magic is going to happen to do all the work.
Well, that's.
You're already through
yeah.
10,000 feet, so it's going to go to that climb speed.
November 786 Whiskey Mike.
Yep, all those landing lights, that all can come up. 10,000 feet, perfect.
For arrival landing east.
Now remember we set a manual fix in the RadNav. Through 10,000 feet, go to the RadNav in the MCDU. Hit the clear button. And then hit that top left button where you have the big Bozeman. And now it's back to being automatic.
Okay, November 786 Whiskey Mike, just so that I clear your clear direct voice.
You can also, I would zoom out to like 40 or 80 on the distance for the arc there now, since you're getting through this SID pretty good. You kind of get a good idea of where you're going.
I
At
need
a
to
certain
turn
point when
the
the terrain's
sounds
not a
down
factor,
here.
you can turn off the terrain
Haney,
on
what's
ND.
going on? Well, since I don't have that terrain plug-in, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off.
Fair enough. Yes, now you can get cinematic because the plane's doing all the work.
Yes, indeed.
When you're done with the cinematic, go back inside. We're going to explain the switchology in this thing. On the overhead, on the glare shield. So you see where you got confused where heading, speed, and all that was? So below your speed is your speed button. Below your heading is your heading button. Below your altitude is your altitude button. And you have the vertical speed, but you almost never want to use vertical speed in this airplane. They teach us to there's very few situations where you're actually using vertical speed in this plane. So you have different things now like open climb, open descent, or VNAV descent, and other things that you're going to see on your PFD, on your scoreboard there, when you pull certain things. When you want things to be managed by the MCDU, you're going to pull. When you want to control certain things, you're going to push. Or I'm sorry, I did that backwards. You push to be managed and you pull to be unmanaged. Meaning if you push the button, like if the heading button, see how you pushed it in and it made the heading disappear? That means it's managed. That means the MCDU has got it in nav and the computer's doing the work. If you were to pull it, it would pull your current heading and then you could twist it to set your heading.
Okay,
And then when
so
you wanted to give it back to the airplane, you
Yeah.
push it again.
That makes sense because that's
So it's
consistent
push-pull,
with the
push-pull.
A300 then. Okay,
Yes. Okay, so the switchology then is kind of similar in that respect.
yeah. Yeah, that
Yes,
makes
it's a
sense. That
push-pull.
makes sense.
Okay, perfect.
So you wouldn't then be manually, you know, making sure that the heading is aligned with. You wouldn't have to do that
No,
because this is
absolutely
automatic. Okay.
Not in this airplane. You can also get rid of your timer. Your takeoff is good, so you can hit the chrono twice. It stops and resets it. You don't need it right now.
Ooh, 180. I
Alright,
need
so you're
to.
through 18,000 feet, so now you gotta pull standard. Is it push or pull standard? That's something I confuse in the actual airplane. I'll just push it and pull it until it says standard. I don't care.
It looks like it just toggles. So if I click it once, it engages, and if I click it twice, it goes back. So that's
Okay,
interesting.
so yeah, make sure you're standard on your FO side too. Remember, you always have to make sure they're both the same.
And it
Otherwise
looks,
the airplane starts yelling at you.
yeah, and it looks like
You can
this does
also-
simulate that.
This is something actually that I forgot to do. When the pilot not flying is doing their after takeoff flow, they would disarm the ground spoilers. So you can go down to the ground spoilers and push it back down.
Oh, geez.
You don't want to, yeah, there you go. So push it down. There you go. Boom. So when you go to use the spoilers, you actually have to push down to slide it back and forth. And you pull up just to arm them when in their
Ah, okay. Oh Lord, I don't even know. I think I have the reverser set, but that could be a wild card here, buddy.
Good thing Denver has really long runways.
It is so nice to have you guys all joining me. I really appreciate you hanging out. And again, sorry I'm not quite as interactive as I normally am. Thank you for Rob and Good Fixins and Jay Smitty for flying along with me, and anybody else. We're heading down to Denver. We have a little ATC. Thank you, Salt Lake Center, for coming online. Greatly appreciate
All right, are
that.
we up at, what's our cruise altitude for this flight?
350.
Damn, that's a big cruise altitude for such a short flight. Get up to get down.
Yep.
All right, zoom out again on your arc. I want you to look at your ND. You should see a blue arrow. That's going to be your top of descent. Or, excuse me, your top climb. That's going to be where your plane's going to level off at, 350. So that is actually telling you, hey, this is where you'll be at 350.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's interesting to see some of the things that translate over from the A300, and that's one of them.
Yeah, a lot of that's probably going to be very similar. All right, so let's get the weather for Denver and do the performance for the approach. Let's get that out of the way.
Okay, I just wanted to make
All right, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I'm doing the D8s here, but I've got the weather for Denver.
That's fine.
United 3657.
Looks like they're expecting
So-
16 left, 16 right,
Have
17
that on
right.
your other window and ready to go. We're going to go through the top hat and reverse question mark now for setting up an approach. So MCDU,
14 radar contact altitude.
the top hat is going to be flight plan. I'm just going to tell you the order real quick. Flight plan, RadNav,
American
Prog,
114, climb and maintain
performance,
370.
fuel prediction, secondary flight plan. So if you draw out a line, it looks like a top hat, right? Top hat.
A firm.
So now your flight plan, you're just verifying again, you have the RNAV to 16 left, you'd verify all the altitudes on the star, you'd verify that it's the correct approach and all the fixes are correct. And you're just verifying, essentially just verifying the back end of the flight plan. Now you go to RadNav, For an RNAV approach, this page becomes insignificant because you're not doing you don't have a localizer, you don't have a frequency, you're not doing an ILS, so this page means absolutely nothing to us when you're doing an RNAV. Prog, this page does matter. For the required accuracy on the bottom left, you see where it says 1.0? You want that to be 0.3 whenever you're going to do an RNAV approach, so you can set it to 0.3. You could also look at the predictive GPS, right, the button right above it. Click that. And that says, yes, you have the RAIM available to do the GPS approach at your destination. Okay? Now you can go performance. You're going to go to all the way until you get to your approach phase. So hit next phase. Next phase. Next phase. There you go. So now you're going to set your altimeter at Denver. And you do need the point. So it's going to be 29.92 or whatever it is.
November 786 Whiskey Mike. Proceeder X Jimmy. Expect a visual approach runway 10 right. The Boise altimeter is 2953, more than 1 hour.
Temp is just whatever the temp is.
This would be in Fahrenheit, right? Not Celsius.
No, this would be in Celsius. So it's 10 degrees Celsius. Wow, it's really 10 degrees Celsius at Denver. Are you kidding me? Hold on. I need to look at that with my own eyes.
Actually, no, I think I have that backwards. I think it's -3.
November 786 Whiskey Mike.
Yeah, see, no, it's 10. No, it's 10. It's 10. Wild. How is it so hot in Denver? Anyways, the wind, so you would do the direction and the speed. So in this case, it looks like it's 280 at 6. And you don't need that 0 in there for future reference. Now you would do the baro, and that's going to be... Your baro and radio are two different things. The baro is pretty much what you can use for every approach unless you're doing a Cat 2 or a Cat 3, then you'd be using the radio. So what's the minimums on the RNAV 16 left into Denver?
All right, I'm looking right now.
And we will use LNAV, VNAV minimums.
Whoops. Ah, shoot.
You just had it on the chart. Where'd you go?
I know it's. I think I have a follow mode on, and that screwed me up.
November 786 Whiskey Mike at Jimmy, intercept the localizer, runway 10 right.
LNAV, VNAV, so 5647 looks like it is for the LNAV, VNAV. We're using LNAV, VNAV, not LPV. So 5647, so you would put 5647 in the barrow. That's your minimums. Boom. So you've got your perf is set. Now you do fuel prediction. Right below perf, remember top hat.
Oh. Yep, thank you, thank you.
Your EFOB when you land in Denver is 8.7. You got plenty of extra fuel, so that's all you're checking is for that EFOB at Denver. You want to make sure that you actually are going to have fuel and get to Denver, so perfect. And now you do secondary flight plan. Let's do this, just in case they give you 16 right. Click copy active. Now go to the, you see the destination, Denver 16 left? Edit that. So go in that bottom left button, put in the RNAV for 16 right. And this way, if they switch you, you could just activate secondary flight plan and have it, you know, kind of all work out like that.
And you want RNAV, not
RNAV,
ILS?
yep.
Okay.
RNAV to 16 right. Whether you're using Yankee or Zulu.
I might have the ILS set. I better check that for my initial flight plan.
Yeah, alright, we'll get to that. So just insert, so you now insert, because this is just your secondary, so you're not worried about that. So now go to flight plan. You do have the ILS, so go click destination, arrival. Let's verify this.
Yep.
No, it looks like you have the yeah, ILS, so you're gonna have to put the RNAV in. Let's fix it. You want to do the RNAV, looks like the RNAV Yankee. Yep, so just insert. Everything else will stay the same. So let's verify your flight plan now. So go to flight plan. Go through. I think it's still gonna all connect. I feel like they almost always use like the same fixes. So Tashner, Jappy, and see Jesper. Keep going, keep going.
Joe Bob.
Joe, yep, goes right into it. Joe Bob, Kurt, look at that.
Yeah, that looks good. Oh, that's cool,
Beautiful.
man. That's really cool.
All right.
Flying
that's
with Mike,
your
thanks for the
top
raid.
hat
Good
is
to
complete.
see you,
can even
man.
put performance numbers for the secondary flight plan if you wanted. If you wanted to take that extra step, go to secondary flight plan. Let's see if it works. Yeah, go to perf. Perf. Nope. Secondary flight plan on that page.
Ah.
See at the top right
Yep.
there.
Fly
Go to the approach phase.
Garden to proceed direct Bridger, then direct
Fly
Bozeman
with
Airport.
Mike.
Sorry, one more
Approach
time.
phase.
We're ready for it.
That's descent. Next page.
Fly high to proceed direct
Next page.
after
Approach,
yeah.
yep.
Garden.
So now all you're going to have to change, because it's chopping over the weather, the only thing you're going to have to change is if you have 16 right, you have to change the barrow, because the barrow might be different for 16 right. So just have that ready to go just in case.
Arnav, Zulu, shoot. Arnav, Zulu.
Then direct Bozeman Airport.
So Arnav, Zulu.
Actually, in this case, it's exactly the same. It is
5586.
5647. That's
Wait,
pretty.
oh,
No, wait, that's
56.
not right. Let's see.
We need the.
It is 5589.
Just a separate fix.
Wait a second.
It is actually
Here, I'll
on
just
the
give it to you. It's
ILS. Are you
5589.
looking for the Arnav Zulu?
I must be looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, me and company were
5589.
actually
Okay.
wondering if we could do the Arnav Zulu from Gady. So Garney, direct Gady to join. Right, I have your request. Bye.
Mike, how are you, buddy?
Let's see real quick.
Good to see you, buddy. I think I have the wrong one pulled up here. Arnav Zulu.
Mike Lima Sierra.
Arnav Zulu.
And we're IFR.
I mean, we could do the Arnav Zulu. It is RMP, which is interesting.
Oh, I thought that's what we wanted. Did we want the Yankee?
Oh, no, let's do the Zulu. So you go back into your flight plan,
Eagle Flight 270, Salt Lake.
and you're going to have to change it to the Zulu. So, no, flight plan, regular flight plan. Bottom left.
No, hold on. I've got.
You've got the Yankee in, I guarantee it. Go to the
Okay.
arrival. You can see it says 16 left Yankee. Yep, so let's go and scroll down now till you get to RNAV 16 left Zulu. LZ. And insert. There you
Okay.
go.
Gotcha. So we were doing secondary flight plan though, right?
Yeah, so now secondary flight plan, you can do the same thing. Do 16 right Zulu.
Eagle
Secondary
270
plan,
cleared
so up
from
second
Milton
button to the
Airport
top left.
the Kilo
2L.
Charlie Mike Alpha Airport as filed.
Bottom left.
Maintain
Arrival.
17,000. Expect
And
flight
set it-
level
it is
4005
16 right Zulu, perfect.
minutes
Okay,
after
cool.
departure.
Awesome.
So actually, your barrow does change, so go to perf.
Clock 60 tree. Clear to Camarillo Airport as filed.
And go to the approach phase, next phase.
Expect flight level 4005 minutes after departure.
Next phase, there we go. And set your barrow, it should be
Eagle
5683.
270, read back correct. Hold for release, call me number 1. Hold for release,
Get to
call
the
me number 1.
RMP. So now flight plan,
Eagle 270.
and you're all good to go. So your top hat's
Calling one more
done.
time.
Now you do what's known as a reverse question mark. So you're gonna look at your flight plan's got to just clear that discontinuity.
Level 3302, checker.
There we go.
Portugal
click
236,
it.
Hotel, Salt Lake Center, Roger.
All right, good. I don't know why that was like that. All right, so now we're gonna do the reverse question mark. So look at your lower ECAM.
Air Portugal 236, heavy, correction, Hotel.
You're gonna
RQ,
look at
climbing to
your
flight level
cabin
3509,
altitude
gonna maintain
and your
330
auto
for now.
elevation. So yep, it's set. So you see how the landing elevation is automatically set so that you're landing at 5,430 feet for Denver. That's set. Look at your gross weight. Is it below max landing weight? I believe that is below the max landing weight. You're gonna go to your auto brakes. And this is a long ass runway, so you're gonna use low brakes. And now on your overhead panel, you would look to see if you're using flaps 3 for an approach, you would actually click the flat landing flap 3 on the JIPWIZ, but we're using full flap landing, so we don't have to worry about that. So you don't have to actually even worry about anything on the overhead panel. And then you've done your and then if you were doing an ILS, you would select the LS buttons now. And you see next to flight director, you see LS. You would only select those if you're doing an ILS, but we're not, since we're doing the RNAV. So those stay unselected. And that's your reverse question mark.
I'm assuming
Now
you
you're
shoot the
set up and ready
RNAV.
to brief the approach.
I'm assuming you shoot the RNAV whenever possible.
No, we just do whatever the airport does.
Okay.
So,
1426.
and a lot of times when you're going international, you're doing the RNAV, because that's mostly. But a lot of the places we go, like, I guess I really shouldn't say it on the stream because I'll give away who I work for. But there's a lot of places that we go where all they have is RNAVs.
Ah, gotcha.
So, but otherwise you're good. So let's see. Your plane is doing pretty much everything it should be doing. You're cruising. You're all set. I would normally, at this point, we'd do an approach brief, but we don't need to go through a full approach brief. The airplane's set. You know what you need to do. You'd go over like the altitudes on the star. You'd go over the approach, the final approach fixed altitude, the baro that we talked about for the minimums, the go around altitude,
Fly high
things like that.
Correction flag
That makes
100.
sense.
What was the approach request that you had again one more time?
Sounds good. Cool.
So you're chilling now until they tell you to start descending on the star.
And this will be interesting because I think I leave his airspace right about top of descent, so I'll be curious to see what he does.
Oh man, Denver Center is not online. That's a big bummer. Well, if we have to do it our own way, then we're gonna have to do it our own way. That kind of is what it is, right? We're on which star are we on? The A320.
Fly 2 after
The Lottie 3.
The Flotty.
After guard, direct Gady, direct Bozeman Airport, Arnev, Zulu 12, thanks a lot, fly high 2.
They need to adjust the lights a little more. Yeah.
Flotty.
I agree, Rob. This is still a bit dark.
For 16 left and right. Okay, so the bottom is 13,000 feet and 210 knots at Thashner on the.
Flying with
Go to your
Mike,
flight
this
plane
is
real quick.
the
I actually want to look and make sure everything's correct.
A321, and I meant to be in the Neo, but I
Scroll
messed
through
up.
it. Tofu, Ganola, Hippie. Stop right there for a second. Hippie. Above 27. Folsom. Feedback. Flatty. Alright, so keep going. Aldo. Perfect. Be safe. Below
By the way,
15.
this is,
So go back. Keep going. You're killing me.
This is what he's looking at. I'll get that over. Sorry.
Be safe, okay. Bund 15, 14, and 210. Thrasher. See that? Why does Thrasher not have it as it should? Thrasher should be probably because it's leading you right into the actual thing. Give me a second. I hate when it does that. So that might be a simism. Chappy. What in the world?
Yeah, Iowa Scotsman. I've kind of heard that there is a couple people said that some of these textures are a little different.
Let me look at something real quick in my own charts. This is weird.
Roger, squawk 1402. Salt Lake City Center, good evening, Delta 1936, 15.34, 270. Delta 1936, Salt Lake City Center, hello, climate maintain, fall level 350.
Zulu 16.
Climate maintain 350, Delta 1936.
Where is it getting that fix from? What is it doing?
I'm gaining.
Back to your flight plan, please, Brent.
All right.
Jade Dizzle. Go scroll up real quick. Scroll through it now. Chappy, Jade Dizzle. No, the other way. Cheaper. Why are those two fixes not fucking there? Very confused. But let's see. Joe Bob. Alright. Keep scrolling through it now. If you don't mind. Joe Bob. Why is this not looking
Urban
right?
786 with ski
Going.
Mike, welcome to Boise, turn left, unable taxi to parking, good night.
I think these are part of the.
Leads. Hold on.
Are these part of the arrival or the RNF?
Yeah, give me a second here, real quick. It's giving you everything for 1-6 left for the Yankee. The Zulu shouldn't have all that. It's all right. There's nothing wrong with what it's showing.
Skyfly 258 Salt Lake Center, roger.
Alright, so go to your flight plan. And we are going to have to do something hard. So click flight plan. Scroll till it gets to the Fashioner, or Tishner, whatever you want to call it, fix. So at Tishner, 210, so you want to do 210/13. Those are mandatory, speeds and altitudes. So we're going to do that. And then on the right side next to Tishner, you're going to put that in there. Insert. I hate when this is actually something the real Airbus would do too. It's kind of stupid.
Search at the Unicom, Jazz 2047 tonight.
And you're sure that they're advertising the RNAVs
Just to maintain 11000.
on VATSIM
11000.
or Real World?
Say that again.
What do they advertise in Real World, you said? They're doing the RNAVs to 1.6.
Yeah, let me pull that back up here.
Fly high 100. Descend to maintain 2000. Sound 2000.
Oh, they flipped the runways.
Oh, they did. You're right. They did.
They expect ILS RNAV or visual approach 34 right, 35 left, or 35 right. So let's take a look, because we're going to do a whole different thing now. This is fun. Aye.
Think of 35 left.
I would do... Go back to what are they offering? Go back to what they're offering real quick. I apologize.
35 left and
I would do
35 left.
3-4 right, because you're coming down that side.
Cross Katy at or above 9,000, cleared RNAV.
Okay, we can do 3-4 right.
So do 3-4 right. So go to your flight plan. Go flight plan. Bottom left. You're going to do the ILS now to 3-4 right. Insert. You're gonna have to clear the discontinuity, so insert. Click the insert button first, Chief. Clear. Hit the clear button. Oh, what is it doing? Clear the discontinuity. So click clear.
We're ready to go.
Clear the discontinuity.
Ah, dang. Sorry.
Eagle 270, roger, standby.
Not loud.
Alright, pull your heading bug. Let's go up.
Eagle 270, release for departure, avoid if not off.
See where we're at here. Pull heading.
Not off in 5 minutes, advise Salt
So
Lake
just
Center
pull
no
it.
later than 5 minutes of intentions, frequency change.
Pull it,
Call me
not push, pull. There you go. Leave it right there for a second. Now go and insert on the MCDU. Okay, so flight plan. Alright, now go direct to,
100 cross Katy at
I'm going direct to Tofu or Ganola. Go up real quick. Clear, hit clear button real quick. Don't clear anything. There you go. Alright, go up and look at your primary flight display real quick, please. What fix are we going to next? Tofu, yeah, so go direct to Tofu and the MCDU. Click the direct button. Scroll up real quick. Click Tofu. Direct to, current did. Now you can go and push the heading bug now. Put it back into, I would already, like the plane's smart. See, I remember now, whenever you do something like that, the plane will automatically go out of heading and do it for you automatically. Boom, perfect. Alright, so now let's review the flight plan again now that we're on a different arrival for the star. So, Tofu, oh, clear that 7. We got the random stuff getting there. Tofu, Ganola, Hippie, Folsom, Bibaco, Flatty. Alright, Eldo, Be Safe. No, we shouldn't have Be Safe anymore. It should be Eldo. Should be Eldo to Tot. Why not fixing that now? That is gotta be a simism right there. So go back to flight plan. We gotta do the whole thing over. This is gonna be annoying. Hit the clear button. Pull your heading. So go up and pull your heading. This is a silly simism. Pull. There you go. Alright, go down to the bottom left. Destination. Arrival.
48, Salt Lake City Center. Climb and maintain flight level
So
380. Sorry, yes. Climb and maintain.
click on a different ILS real quick.
My bad, I was only giving
Doesn't matter at this
instructions.
point. Insert it, and then we're gonna do something real quick. So now go to flight. Do the same thing. Go flight plan.
Just the wrong,
Yep.
wrong phrase
Arrival.
on my part.
Go back to 3-4 right.
Also, Portugal 1052 heavy,
ILS 3-4 right. You scrolled past it.
Portugal 1052,
Dang it.
Salt Lake Center, hello.
There we go.
And are
That's
you
3-4 left. Go to
climbing
3-4
flight
right.
level 370
Ah, dang it.
now, or are you staying at 350 for now?
Go. Just hit flight plan again.
Thank you.
Just restart the process.
Okay. Okay.
Clear. 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 Temp erased. Try again.
Salt Lake Center, Delta
3-4 right.
If we stop away for about 5 minutes. So 1936 approved, coming back.
So hit the yep. What is it doing? Select the arrival. So go ahead and select the flatty again on the stars.
Frequency change to groove over to Unicom, Delta 190.
So hit the clear button. You gotta use the scroll. Remember the blue ones. You can't do anything, change anything on that screen. So hit the blue ones. Do the flatty, and then do the via again from Tofu.
Frontier 777 descend, correction, cross gap at and maintain flight level 320.
Do you not have Tofu for this?
Oh, it's
Doesn't make any
wanting
sense.
it's wanting to do a via into the yeah.
Go back. On the right, there you go. There's a transition. We keep getting me confused with that Tofu. Insert.
Fly high
Now
to
go.
Try that again.
Scroll through the flight plan real quick for me. I
Clear
want to see
to
if that
land,
fixed
fly
things. Keep going. Okay, it did. So now go to flight plan, and now just make it 3-4 right.
Okay. Arrival.
That's a silly
3-4
simism.
right. Okay. ILS 3-4 right.
Temp insert.
The oh, okay.
Okay. Scroll through.
Frontier 777,
Flatty,
Los Angeles,
keep going.
135.55.
Alado, keep going. Now it's Tot. Okay, good. Top between 17 and
Yep.
15. That's good. Yes. Back above 13. Baba between 12 and 14. 250. So that should be 250. Yeah, do 250 slash and then click on Baba. Really doesn't want you to do it. Okay, don't worry
No,
about it. Keep
okay.
going.
It's
Don't
interesting.
worry about
Yeah,
it.
that's
Keep
a-
going. It does have Haima correct at 11 and 210. That's really
Yep.
the only important one.
Yep.
Cool. Manual, because it doesn't automatically connect you now for the ILS to 3-4 right.
Okay.
So look at the keep going now. You have the flight plan discontinuity. Then you have for the ILS 3-4 right.
You get that pulled up over here. ILS 3-4 right.
Eagle 270, Salt Lake Center, roger, right now.
Is it giving me
No.
3-4 left stuff still?
That's
I
not
see
even close,
BBOS.
Should be Bobo.
Um,
Bobo Bingo
Eagle
Boeing.
270, radar contact 6 miles east of Miles City, climb and maintain flight level 400.
yeah, what in the world is this?
Boss.
Boss. Nah, keep going, keep
Oh,
going,
there we
keep
go,
going,
Boeing.
keep going. There's Boeing.
Cord.
So it's giving you all of these things. Jesus. All
So
right.
this
so
is all-
Not really worried about that. Okay, it's
Yeah.
there. That's all that matters. Not super worried about it. It's giving you all the way extended out as if it's coming from
Yeah.
like
Kind of from the southwest a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, if you were doing a star coming from the south, they would actually connect all up, but we're not worried about it coming from the north. So everything's in there. Don't worry about it. It's not going to matter.
Okay.
So the flight plan's good, so you can give away the heading again.
Maybe.
Actually, you might have to go direct to Tofu first. And
Okay.
then, so go direct to Tofu.
You're welcome to Bozeman and taxi to parking on this frequency. Have a good day.
Direct.
Over to parking this frequency.
Direct
Thanks
bet.
for your help. Fly ahead, dude. Fly 100, runway 12,
Got to
clear
scroll it up again.
Clear to land
Other way.
1255.
Other way. Tofu. Direct to... There we go. Okay, we should be good now.
Now we're in. Okay, yeah.
Man, this is a lot more work than I thought we were going to need for this, but you're kind of getting effed over by some random stuff.
Well, we could take, like, we could skip
So,
over those.
on your ND, hopefully we should see a top of descent arrow now on our ND. You see a little white arrow? There you go, that's going to be your top of
right
descent
there.
to do this via the RNAV, or the VNAV.
89, Salt Lake City Center, Roger.
So, less than 100 miles, so we're chilling. We got 100 miles to go before we need to worry about a descent.
Cool.
Sweet.
I might have just missed a call. I'm sorry, was that the last call for American 816?
American 816, negative.
Alright. Okay. Fixie's good to go.
We're chilling.
Rob,
That's a lot of work.
yeah.
See, things can... It is that annoying, actually, when they switch runways on us when we've already got something configured and we have to redo everything like that. It can be quite annoying because now we have to do... We're supposed to do our top hat and reverse question mark again because now that we're doing ILS, the big difference, and you don't have to do it because the only differences are going to be go to your performance page. And now you're going to put the minimums for the ILS 34 right, which looks like it's Barrow 5554.
Out of Falcon 1456, holding center with you flight level 400.
And the only other thing now you're going to change is you're going to turn your LS switches on because now you're doing an
Jim,
ILS.
you're right.
So next to the flight directors, turn both of those bad boys on. Perfect. And everything else is already done. In the actual airplane, if I was doing this correct way, SOP, you would completely do over the top hat and reverse question mark, but that's just the, you know what you needed to fix. Fixed it, you're done.
All right.
You can catch up with your chat now because we have a little bit of time.
Yeah, so...
Use the restroom.
So all of this stuff we're trying to put in, and this is kind of what we're expecting. And we have all these waypoints in here, but it gave us some additional waypoints that take us clear down here, and then back around. So that's kind of what we worked through there. It was interesting, and I'm curious to go back after the fact and kind of debrief this myself, but
American 816, radar services terminated, frequency change approved.
all right, over to Unicom. Thanks for the ATC. Have a great night, American 816.
Yeah.
Just flight like a pilot. Don't let JPC here. Speaking of that, so I'm going to take a quick break as well. I'll be right back, and we'll head down into Denver. See you in a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry, Delilah. Did I wake you? Hi, Poochie. Don't look at my messages above. Oh boy. Yeah, see, good fixins. When you change a runway like that, you don't have to select the star again in the actual airplane. Once you switch the runway, the plane is smart enough to automatically switch the all that. So that is a simism. Wish I could switch the zoom on his arc while he was away. It's starting to get time for a lower zoom here shortly. He also never turned his seatbelt sign off. His passengers aren't allowed to go to the bathroom.
I heard that. We all know I'm a pro. It's fun to.
It's getting close to time where you might want to zoom in on your ND there. No reason to be so zoomed out now. There we go.
It's fun to listen to.
It doesn't have to be that. You can put it at 80.
To somebody who really does this and just see kind of where the lines are blurred between reality and the sim. So and downwind sim, you got it exactly right. Toll House. Defective Crayon. Man, you're on a roll, dude. Man, I love you.
I say simisms is a technical term because there's actually simisms in the real sim where we do all of our flight training. There are some simisms that you then go with the check airman after you finish your check ride and you do your IOE, and they show you what the actual airplane does and gets rid of those simisms. So it's not, it's amazing that, that is a thing. There are simisms even in the real world, not just in X-Plane 12 or Flight Sim or any of that. I don't think you're going to be with that center controller for the top of descent. We might be doing all of that on our own if Denver Center doesn't come online. Which you probably should get the switch soon because it looks like you're coming outside of his border here in a second.
I already was handed off.
Oh, so you're on Unicom? So you're on Unicom,
A-firm.
Alright, you see your top of descent's coming up about 80 miles, it looks like, right? Yeah, right at, it's pretty much right at Hippie. So what you can do now is, since we're on Unicom, we can pretend that, let's say this Denver controller would have been like, alright, American 816, you can descend via the, what is the arrival? I already forgot. The floaty 3 arrival. So you can go ahead and set your bottom altitude, which if you look at the chart, Hi Mom is where the bottom altitude is, and that's at 11,000. So you can go ahead and set 11,000, but don't click or anything. Just set the 11,000 in the window, and you're not going to push or pull or do anything. Just set the 11,000. You see those arrows that you had? Just get it back to the 1,000, because then you can go in 1,000 increments. So scroll a little bit to the left, go a little bit, there you go. Go, now, yeah, go to 1,000 increments. There you go. Now don't touch anything. It's set when you're ready to descend. So usually, and this is my personal thing, every pilot actually is different when it comes to this. I wait until I'm about 5 nautical miles away from the top of descent arrow, and that's when I'll push that altitude button to put it into the VNAV descent. So I would wait. Let's wait till we're 5 miles away from the top of descent arrow. Right now we're still like 60 miles. And once we're 5 miles out, we'll push it, and that'll start the VNAV descent. And it'll hold a 1,000 foot per minute descent until it gets to where it intercepts the VNAV, and then it'll do the VNAV descent.
Okay.
You could wait till it's right on the arrow and push it, and have it go right into the VNAV descent. Mine is just a technique, just to do it. I do it 5 nautical miles prior. Yeah, but it's crazy. There is no climb checklist. There's no cruise checklist. All we have is the after takeoff, and then we would do an approach checklist. So once we finish the approach briefing, we could do our approach checklist to the line. So we approach briefings complete, EFOB. We checked that the destination was 8.6. We don't have an alternate. The minimums, they were barrel 5554 or whatever it is. You would check that, and then the ECAM status is checked. So I see right on your PFD, barrel 5554, it's checked. And the ECAM status is checked. There's nothing wrong with the airplane, so that's to the line. And then when we get below 18, we would do below the line and set the altimeters and make sure the seatbelt sign. You already have the seatbelt sign on. You do not want those passengers to pee, man.
Yeah, I never knew. I thought some companies left them on regardless, but I didn't know.
It's captain's discretion. I'm not even allowed to touch that button, technically. It's the captain's button.
Altimeter, by the way, is 2951. Can you, like, preload the altimeter and click it over?
You can push it, preload, and then pull it again. Make sure you do it on both sides. So set yours and then put it back to standard, and then you can set the FOs and put it back to standard, and that way when you click it, you're right, it'll automatically be ready to go. We do preload it sometimes. That is technique. Very nice.
You'll get a kick out of this. Obviously, my grandson flies a bunch when he comes home. He was in a side stick mood. He was not going to fly any plane that didn't have a side stick.
Nice.
Well, he usually flies the Skyhawk, and he's like, no, Papa, I want the side stick.
He's got an Airbus future written all over him.
Yeah, not sure.
You can zoom in more on your PFD. Start to see as we get closer to that top of descent arrow coming in. You can always zoom in and out at your leisure, obviously, but I just like to have it close when it gets closer so I can see when it's at that 5 nautical miles eventually to
So I don't know
give away.
if the A320 does this, but in the A300, if I arm that altitude too soon, it doesn't do anything. But if I arm it within the range, it gives me a vertical track message on the PFD.
A little different on the 320.
So like, is there a range? Like, could I arm it like I'm 33 miles away from top of descent right now?
You could push it down, but it's just going to descend you 1,000 feet until it gets to the first altitude to hold. But I wouldn't. Like I said, my technique is 5 miles prior.
So as soon as you arm that, it starts the descent. Then I see.
Yeah, and it'll descend you to the first constraint. So you need to be at or above 27 at Hippie. So it would just descend you 1,000 feet per minute to flight level 270, and it would level at 270 if you're not at Hippie yet.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Could you do it? Yes. Is there a point to it? Not really. The only time you would do something like that is, let's say ATC, you have it all set up, but they haven't given you a descent via. ATC is just like, all right, American 816, descend to flight level 270. Then you would set 270, and then usually I just give it away to let it do the 1,000 feet per minute descent to 270.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely more, or it's definitely helpful to have the ATC to help with that. No doubt about it.
Yeah, and in this case, this is fine because we have an RNAV that's just going to lead us right into, and then we will have to kind of vector ourselves for the ILS, which is going to be a little bit annoying, but that's fine. We can figure it out. I'll be your ATC. What the hell, Firefox? Are we really about to freeze up? It's not what I had in mind.
They say this is the most automated airline, but the Boeing automatically descends at the TOD without having to push the button. Ooh, fixie. shots fired, man.
So did the 175. The 175 did that also.
Nice.
But that's a little Airbus thing, yeah.
Do I need all the library files in like in X-Plane 11?
And if you forget,
JW
let's say you
Cruise?
forget to push
Yes.
it, the Airbus will start to be like, hey, you
And-
might need more drag, or it'll start to give you like things to kind of remind you like you need to start descending.
In fact, many of the libraries have been updated to X-Plane 12. So, yeah, you need to go through that. Start him on a Cirrus. Good fixins I would
Zoom in on your PFD, please.
if I had a Cirrus that worked in X-Plane 12.
Zoom the arc in too. So you'll see now when it gets to the 5 nautical mile ring, that's when I would push the altitude
Roger.
button. Give it away. So you got time, you got another
Yeah.
5 miles here. Do technique.
The Torque Sim Cirrus is in beta, but doesn't have any. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just waiting patiently. I'm good. I can hold on. I can wait. But yeah, actually, there is a Cirrus in default X-Plane 12 that's not terrible. But as soon as, so he saw me.
And now you've given it away. Look at that.
Yep.
And now it should say descend, and it does.
He saw me installing
Now you're in
this,
a
and he's
VNAV
like,
descent.
"Papa, that's a long airplane." I'm like, "Well, yeah, because he'd only flown the Skyhawk." And he's like, "Can I
Look
fly
at your
that?"
PFD real quick. You see that blue squiggly arrow? That's where you're going to intercept the VNAV path. So you're going
Ah.
to descend at 1,000 feet per minute until you get to that blue squiggly, and then that's where you're going to intercept the VNAV path.
And I'll probably get some kind of a message up here indicating that.
So
Um,
Airbus magic.
yeah, and Brett, I'm totally with you. Like, I am really looking forward to having one plane, like one plane. What? One plane a month? One plane every couple of weeks to come on over. What's my Mach number? It is what is it? 0.79er.
So you'll see a couple things now. You'll see that green dot. That's your path.
Okay.
And you've got your window now for your speed.
Throttle idle.
So now Airbus is weird when it comes to this. It gives you usually a 20 knot range, 10 knots on each side, or 20 knots on each side, excuse me, of your set speed for the descent. And it'll just use that window, you know, tailwind, headwind. It uses that window to keep you on the path. That's just an Airbus. That's the Airbus magic right there.
Okay, cool.
That can bite you in the ass sometimes. So you do have to watch it, especially if you have like a really strong headwind, or in this case you have a pretty strong tailwind, so that's going to be kind of rough actually. So we're going to get to keep an eye on this descent, make sure that it does what it needs to do.
Yeah, 70 knot kind of tailwind
Everything's
there.
good right now, but
Okay.
sometimes it can bite you in the booty, because then there are
Arrow
times when it's
flyer.
like, oh, we're going to need those speed brakes.
I'm doing great, man. I've got a real live Airbus A320 pilot that's helping me out. This is the first flight I've ever done in an A320. It's actually the Toliss A321, and man, it's been fun. Holy moly, it has been a blast. I think the sim has performed well, and yeah, for the most part, everything is doing okay. Now I'm I'm gonna set it down here eventually, and so that'll be the that'll be the X factor. But if you guys only knew how much time Jet Pilot Cinnamon has spent with me on things like approaches and landings and all that stuff. I mean, the dude is first rate and super generous with his time, and has really passed on a lot of knowledge to just an old sim pilot. This is as close as I'm ever going to get to one of these planes. And man, I tell you what, I appreciate it. I'm absolutely having a blast. Fixie, I actually looked at the same thing. I'm like, man, come on. What I almost did, I almost bought the Flight Factor A320 just to have a comparison. But yeah, I ended up instead. I updated and got the A3, the Neo add-on and the BSS sound pack instead. But I tell you what, the sale was there. And to be honest, the type of flying I do, the
Another
A319
cynism is that
probably
it never went
works.
into cruise speed. It stayed in climb.
Oh,
So
wow.
on your upper ECAM, you see how it's got a climb?
Oh, wait a second. Upper
That's a,
ECAM.
that might be a cynism. It should have been in cruise.
Climb. Oh, yeah.
Doesn't really matter right now. It's insignificant.
But the 319 probably makes more sense for the type of flights I like to do, but that's okay. How do I do a shout out to the Virtual USA Flying Club? I really should have a command for that, shouldn't I? I have a timer set, and I can do that. Let me give you the link, by the way. So for those of you that are wondering, or maybe you're new here, whatever, Mike Sinante, who is the guy you hear in the background, he is the founder of the Virtual USA Flying Club. It, in my opinion, is the strongest general aviation flying club on VATSIM currently, and absolutely a total blast to be a part of. If you are interested, if you like general aviation flying, and you're interested in being a part of 4 or 5 organized VATSIM events each month, just click on that Discord link. All you have to have, this is it. There's no money that changes hands here. You just have to have a valid VATSIM ID, and you have to be in good standing. And if you go to that Discord link right there, that'll take you to the waiting room. One of our admin will process you, which doesn't take much at all. You need to have a tail number in mind as well, and then you'll have access to basically all the resources of the Virtual USA Flying Club. We just actually had an event today in Australia, so it's not just a USA deal. If you're from another country and you want to be a part of a general aviation flying club, please hop along. We'd love to have you. It's just a wonderful place. It's got a ton of people, a lot of real life pilots that are willing to help you out, willing to help out guys like me that I'm not a real world pilot. And anyway, it's got all kinds of channels from aviation related to non-aviation related to, I mean, everything in between, and you'll really enjoy being a part of it.
Look at your ND real quick. Zoom in on it. It's a little symbology. You see the pink arrow pointing at Eldo. It's telling you that it's going to level at a constraint, and then that blue arrow is when you're going to continue to descend on the VNAV path. That's all. You don't have to do anything. The airplane's going to do it for you. I'm just showing you the symbology.
Is it leveling to achieve a particular speed? Is that why it's doing that?
No, it's going to level to cap flight level 210 at Eldo because it's 21 or above, or 21 or below, but it looks like it's going to cap that. It's a constraint, essentially. It's making sure it's meeting a constraint, and then it'll continue the descent at that blue arrow again when it gets back onto the VNAV path.
Gotcha. I'm just trying to translate into Boeing-isms, and I know sometimes they have decel points where they'll level you to.
Yeah, you see your airplane is decelling right now.
Yeah.
The pink dot is a decel point.
Okay.
You already went over a pink
sure.
dot. You can see you're decelling. So,
perfect.
it's good to go.
Cool. Why do they
So now
put
it's
the
gonna
distance
cap
to
that,
top of descent?
and it'll
That'll
get
be a
back on the
Mike
path with the blue
Sinante
arrow.
question there. Was going to do the event, but got caught up in something else. Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I was.
Why do they put the top of descent distance? I couldn't answer that question either. Good fixins. Ask the French.
Good news. My crew made it home past some really sketchy weather and bad roads. And,
Yeah, Jay Smitty, for the most part, this Toliss looks pretty good. There's a handful of simisms, but
Rob, I am on Unicom A-firm.
it's working as it should right now.
So it's curious.
So now it hits that descent. Now it's back on the VNAV path. It's doing everything right.
So Mike, it's curious because one of the things that was the big difference between this plane and the Flight Factor was this was the McDo, was all this functionality in here. And even as highly regarded as this is, there's still quite a few things that are a little quirky from what I'm understanding.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good rendition of the MCDU compared to what I have in real life, though. There are a handful of things that are different, but nothing crazy. It's all doable. I can do it and fly it and look at it pretty much like I'm in the real thing.
I guess for those of you that are curious, because I did quite a bit of research between the two, and it sounds to me like if you're looking for a plane that has the kind of the better McDo, the Toliss is it. If you're looking for the plane that looks better and, you know, just like the visuals are a little better, it's the flight factor. But the biggest complaint I hear about the flight factor is that it's frame heavy. And the one thing I can't have in X-Plane 12, and I don't know that anybody can have it unless you've got a 4090, is you can't have frame issues. So me being somebody who's never had this plane, like, I can't tell that these are textures that aren't as nice as the flight factor. Like this looks fine to me. And so I'm
Coming up to the transition.
very happy. I'm
Set
very
your
happy so
altimeters.
far. All right, so boom,
Since you already preset them, yeah, perfect.
boom.
So below the line on the approach checklist, altimeters 2951 set and seatbelt sign is on. Approach checklist complete.
Yeah, Fixie, all you need to have is a certified Airbus pilot flying along with you in every sim or in every stream, and then I think you'll be good to go, right? DIY Jedi, what's going on, man? Good to see
How do you
you.
do a 5-mile deviation to the right in the MCD? You do a lateral offset slop. So you go flight plan. You're probably not gonna be able to do it at this point in the flight. Click on TOT or yeah, click on TOT. Let me see if it'll offset, and then you could do the offset from there. Don't do it right now, Brent. But that's how you would do it to whoever asked the question.
So welcome in. By the way, if you're just here, I've not been super interactive with the chat today, but thanks for coming by. We're flying from Bozeman to Denver. This is my first ever flight with the Airbus A321. And I've got a real-life A320 pilot that's flying along with me, giving me all kinds of pointers. We're on descent into Denver, as you can probably see. And
Airport in sight.
really, holy cow, you got some good elf eyes, buddy. I
To
can
your 11 o'clock.
I can only see it.
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. The other 11. Right there, maybe. Oh, there it is.
Bing.
Yeah, sure enough.
Just let the VNAV do the work, though.
A firm. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Thanks for coming by. And very happy that I finally got off the fence and pulled the trigger, and am now the proud owner of an A320. Well, an A321. And
traffic radio check.
5x5.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh, I need to do something.
For traffic, Delta 190, running right downwind. Going to be joining ILS for runway 35 right, Denver.
What route did I do today? I think I've got the route in. Let me see your Aeroflyer. Toliss A340 win? I tell you what, Cargo Fire, if I had a little extra scratch, that plane would be the next one I would purchase. Here's the problem that I have, Cargo Fire, is I don't fly enough long hauls to do, I feel like I do it justice. Like, even this plane, is not used on anything shorter than 3 hours, I would imagine. JPC, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Depends.
Okay. But anyway,
We do a lot of A321 stuff between New York and Florida.
Oh, okay.
Depends on, because it's got higher capacity. The A321 can hold 200 the way that my company has it configured, whereas the A320 is configured for either a 162 or a 150.
Okay, that makes sense.
So some of the higher demand, they might slap a 321 on it.
That makes sense. So anyway,
I mean, we do have some 320 flights that are like less than an hour. We do freaking. It depends on what the company wants. You can use the Airbus in a regional way if you want to.
Yeah.
It's not out of the realm, you know, of its usability. So.
Well, and so anyway, I that's you guys know me. Like I'm a 2-hour or less flight guy for the most part. Although I was proud of myself.
So after Hi Mom, on the chart, you'll see that it wants you to hold a heading of 173. So after Hi Mom, you're going to set a heading of 173, and then I'm going to be what vectors you for the ILS at that point.
Perfect. Thank you. I was proud of myself. I did Miami to San Francisco in the 747 the other day, and all without ATC. I actually felt kind of bad for the viewers. It was just me for 5 hours. No, that A340 does have a certain appeal. I'm telling you, it does. It really does. I think the MD-11 might be first though before all that.
Zoom in on your ND real quick. See that pink dot that you're coming over right now? That's going to activate your approach phase, that circle D. So, pull speed.
Full speed, okay.
And set speed 210 for Hi Mom. Pull.
Okay, there we go.
You're pushing. Set 210 for Hi Mom.
So I'm going to
now
have...
your approach phase is active. It'll slow down now on different windows for your approach phase. So go to your performance page real quick.
0.34. Thank you for the description, my brother. Tim, great to see you.
Clean, it would slow to green dot at 223 in the approach phase. So if you were to keep it managed, it would go to 223. When you went to flaps 1, it would go to 208. When you went to flaps 2, it would go to 153. Flaps 3 and full would take you to the V approach of 147.
Very
That's if
good.
you were to keep it managed all the way. So we're not worried about that right now, but eventually we're going to give away speed again down the road. So go back up. You're over Hi Mom. Your speed 210. You can go flaps 1. I would go flaps 1. Alright. And pull heading 173.
Heading. Gosh dang it, where am I? Right here. Right there. 173.
173.
So I've really got to get used to these click spots.
So now go to your MCDU, flight plan. And now you're going to clear until it's PPAS. So clear, hit the clear button. And you're going to clear the top left.
What? Clear and then here?
Clear it, hit clear.
And then click on Hi Mama?
Yep. And now you got your PPAS, perfect. So now you're set up for it to just kind of join a final, and everything else will sequence in. You can clear all the way to... now you don't even have to worry about it. The plane should do it automatically. So get out of that window, get that out of the way. Because we're heading now. So now you can go ahead and descend to 9,000. And to now just push it, or pull it, excuse me, pull the altitude. That'll give you an open descent at 210 knots. So pull the altitude. You should see open descent. So look on your PFD, open descent. And so what that'll do is it'll give you thrust idle descent to maintain 210 knots since that's your selected speed currently.
So that's like FLC or indicated airspeed. I got you.
That's your flight level change essentially. Yes, it's open descent.
Very good. Tim, thank you for 12
Zoom
months,
in on
by the
your
way.
arc all the way to 10. There we go.
I appreciate you, man. I don't have anything to toast you with. I was drinking a lovely Merlot tonight, and I don't have anything left. But
Zoom in on
welcome.
your ND real quick for me. I'm sorry. I just want to see where we're at here.
Welcome.
Markle. Oh,
Yep.
you're already getting way the fudge out here. You can go ahead and turn Left heading 090.
Dr. Pepper Merlot. No, it was straight up rich of peak stuff there. Good fixings. It doesn't happen very often, buddy.
I would slow to... You know what? Give away speed. Push it in. We're going to go manage speed the rest of the way. That'll work.
Does not happen very often.
190 short final runway 35
I better make a call here as well. Denver traffic, American 816 is on the left, base runway 34 right. Denver traffic. 34 right. I hope it's 34 right.
Alright, you're gonna turn left heading, let's do 010. You'll maintain 9,000 until established on the localizer. You're cleared ILS, runway 34 right.
Left turn 010. We'll maintain 9,000 clear for the ILS. 34 right. American 816.
So now you're clear for the approach. You can hit the approach button
Right there. Boom.
and autopilot 2. And now you're Cat 3 dual.
Oh. Shall we insert some weather here, my friend?
No. We're gonna make you land this by hand.
Son of a.
So you're Loke Star, so it's capturing the Loke. Good. Glide slopes above us. Perfect. So I didn't vector you like garbage. Thank God. What's the distance from the airport? 15 miles? Perfect.
Hey, firm.
Actually, no, it's a little less than that because of, let's do, flaps 2.
Flaps
Because
2.
we're already about to intercept the glide slope. Let's go gear down.
All right, so something that's not working on my Bravo, so I have to do that manually. Ooh, that's loud.
Final approach fix is Cordy. So where is it? Are we still zoom into your ND real quick?
Not quite. We're almost there. Right there.
Okay, we got a little bit of ways to go. All right, yeah, we can stay in this configuration for the time being. Actually, probably got the flaps and the gear down a little bit sooner than it needs to be, but that's all right. We uncontrolled. Just do what we want.
Denver traffic Delta 190, clear to runway 35 right off of Papa 7. We taxi to the Seacon, course Papa 7, Echo Delta, Denver.
Denver traffic, American 816, 5 mile final, 35 right. Denver traffic. 35, no.
Probably a little more than 5 miles, but
34, sorry, 34 right for Denver, for American 816. Yeah. Denver is looking good. Yeah, it is. It is.
You're probably 10 miles because it's 5 miles from Cordy and you're 5 miles from Cordy, so you're probably 10 mile final.
Yep. Good.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Uncontrolled.
you're right. You're right. So this is the toll road, by the way, that
Doesn't matter at
bypasses
all.
Denver. And right here, this corner, I almost wreck every time I drive this because it's right on the departure for runway 25. And I'm always plane watching instead of driving. All right, I'm going to take over the aircraft here. Is there cancel buttons for my autopilots and all that?
Yeah, it's the red button on the joystick.
10 miles from High Mom.
So look at your joystick to the left.
Arrival.
I don't think I have that.
Look to your left, sir.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Click the red button. So you got the autopilot alarm, which is the dinner, and the click, click, click is telling you that you're no longer Cat 3 dual, so your automation degraded.
Pentagon, how are you, man? Good to see you. And thank you for the 747 Queen of the Skies, whoever that was. Good to see you. Butter the biscuit.
What is auto flight?
You got it, man.
I don't understand.
Master cut. I keep getting a master cut. Doesn't like something.
Sure, why?
Getting
Because your
slow.
thrust levers aren't in the climb detent, but you haven't got rid of your auto throttle pilot yet, so keep them in the climb detent. You don't get rid of your auto thrust until it tells you to retard. Alright, you can go flaps 3.
Yeah, flaps 3. I'm a little low right now.
You're gonna do. I want you to do the stupid cabin check. So click the all button on the cabin, on the overhead. Now go back down. Okay.
Oh, I just
And
got
so that's
really,
a simism.
really fat, really high there. Dang
Okay,
it.
and keep your thrust levers in that climb detent. You're accidentally moving those thrust levers.
Sorry.
They gotta stay in the climb detent. So make sure, yep, keep them in that climb detent. So look at your actual thrust levers in the sim real quick. Make sure they're in climb. CL. Nope. CL. Not man. It's not. Down. There you go. That one. Don't touch those until they tell you. Until the airplane says retard, retard. Then you can pull the thrust idle.
Oh, okay, okay.
Otherwise, you're not touching the. You don't touch the throttles at all.
Oh.
Go alone.
Oh,
so
I see.
Flaps full.
Flaps full.
Arm the ground spoilers. So pull the ground spoilers up. And then landing checklist. Auto thrust is in speed. You should see green speed on the PFD. And
Dang it.
ECAM landing memo. Landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. You're clear to land.
I lost my view
So, yep,
there.
you're flying it. You do not move the thrust until it tells you to retard.
100 above.
That's different.
The airplane will compensate the speed, so you gotta get used to that, not touching the thrust levers.
Yeah, that's
So it
different.
tells you to retard.
I've done a bad job.
Minimum.
Oh, this is ugly.
Landing.
Continue. Yep.
Pull up. Boom. Touchdown. Now you can see if your reverse thrust works. It does. So you should see ground spoilers on the lower ECAM. They're up, and you see reverse green. Two
Gosh,
reverse.
way
You're
off.
good to go.
I'm all over the
The auto
place.
brakes will brake for you until you manually brake. You want to get out of full reverse by 70 knots. And now you've got no decel because you're manual braking.
Hmm.
And you're good to go. You
That was-
exit the runway. Nicely done.
That was a little rough, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Okay, that's going to be interesting to
So now,
not
since
mess
there's
with.
no controllers on, Brant, turn to the right. Turn to the right, because you're going to taxi the ramp eventually. But since there's no controllers on, we're going to have you stop.
Okay.
And I'm going to go through the after. This
American
is stuff that would
816
normally
is
happen on
clear
the
of
taxi
3,
because
4
the
right.
captain taxis.
Whew. Okay.
Captain taxis and the FO cleans up.
Not bad.
So
not
I'm just
bad,
going to
not
go
bad.
through now after landing. So after landing, you're going to start a timer.
Okay,
Because
chrono.
you're going to need the engines to cool down. You need a specific amount of time on that. You're going to clear the flight directors and the localizers, so FD, LS, you're going to turn all that off. You're going to go down, put the ground spoilers away. You're going to make sure that your ignition, if for whatever reason was on, like if you were in really bad weather, it's back to normal, it's good. You can bring your flaps up all the way.
I think I did that accidentally, just out of habit.
That's okay. And then you would be checking if your captain wants to turn on the APU. So at this point, you can go ahead and turn the APU on. Again, look at your lower ECAM. Make sure it doesn't say low oil. After 3 seconds, then you can start it. All right. And you're good. Now you can taxi.
All right, let's see if I can figure out where
That's
I'm
your
at
after
here.
landing check. You'd also have turned off your radar and predictive wind shear, but we don't worry about that in the sim.
Denver traffic, American 816, taxi.
And so that timer,
on Foxtrot.
so that timer is now, you gotta turn your parking brake off.
Oh, I didn't realize my parking brake was on.
Is for two things. That timer that you set for the after landing is for engine cooldown, and on the Neo engines, you need at least 3 minutes. On the regular engines, I think you just want 2.
Okay.
And then, also, for the brake fans, and what I mean by that is, there's three things that you're looking for to turn the brake fans on, at least for the way my company does it. If you're about to enter the ramp, you just turn them on. Once you enter the ramp, brake fans go on. You turn the brake fans on, or you turn the brake fans on 5 minutes after landing, or if any of the brake temps are above 500 degrees Celsius, then you turn them on.
So Aeroflyer, there's your answer, I think. Hey, thank you guys for the the compliments. It was not super pretty, but we'll take a look at Volanta and see how we did here in just a bit. Got some weird kind of aliasing going on here.
American 114 on the ILS for 34 left. About a 13-mile final.
And we had at least 3 guys flying with us. Rob Valkyrie, Jay Smitty, and Good Fixins. Thank you guys for flying.
114 on the ILS for 34 right, 13-mile final.
3-4 right, good. I hope it wasn't 3-5 right. That's the one that's in Kansas. That's the one that's way east. Rob, where do we park this? Where does American park? It parks in the Charlie Terminal southwest, so that baby's going to be full of parked planes. The Bravo Terminal is United and maybe the Bravo. I don't know. You're in a Delta, so you went to Charlie. Okay, we'll go down to the Bravo Terminal. That's the terminal I know well. Man, I tell you what, I really do feel bad for Southwest. Somebody is going to lose their job, and they don't have a whole lot of extra people. So,
It's going to be the CEO that loses his job.
oh my goodness gracious. What a horrible time to
what
have that
happened with,
happen.
JetBlue in 2007.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Aeroflyer, thank you, man. You're back to work, okay, brother. Thank you for checking in. Have an awesome rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see you.
So
very,
here comes
very
the crazy
soon.
part about parking, Brant, is that
Oh, Alpha, thank
the
you, Tim.
FO literally does nothing when parking. It's all captain.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna actually have to read off, and we're gonna have to do this together for the captain stuff because I don't even
All
know
right,
it.
baby. I'm ready. Here comes Good Fixins. You can see him coming in. That's awesome. That is so awesome. All right, so we're going to go down to what DME did I get fully configured? Yeah, so all right, so Good Fixins. What I try to be fully configured by 4 DME, but I don't know what the Airbus procedure is.
You just need to be fully configured and stabilized before 1,000 feet.
Okay. Alpha Terminal gates 48 through 53. All right, so we'll head down to Alpha and just find a spot there. Fixie, thanks for flying along. Jay Smitty, thanks for flying along. And Rock Valkyrie, my friend, thank you so much.
5-mile final for 34
Really
right.
appreciate you guys. All right. That looks really cool. The clouds are a mess. Let's be honest. The clouds are a mess. But the sunset looks cool. The puddles on the runway look cool. And knowing that that's your friend on final, as the kids would say, that's pretty. Well, I don't know what they would say. What do they say now? That's pretty sweet. That's pretty slick. I don't know. I don't know what they would say. The night lighting is really good. The airport lighting especially is fantastic. Look at him. Look at Fixie. All stable. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard. Oh, right in the middle. Of course, I have ground clamping issues, so it's like you can't really tell. That looked pretty good, Brett. That looked pretty doggone good. That looks pretty good. Can you do multiplayer? Well, yes, you kind of can. So there's two things about multiplayer. Obviously, if you're on the VAT
20.
sim, Jim, you can fly with others, and then there's some shared cockpit apps also that allow you to do kind of a multiplayer in the same aircraft deal. But yeah, VAT sim is what I use. It does a nice job.
Do you want to hear a joke about the Airbus with the retard, Brant?
Well, sure.
First one's a verb, the second one's a noun.
Oh, jeez. Okay, we're heading in here.
114 clear. 34 right, we're gonna taxi to Concourse Bravo. Denver.
All right.
If anybody in the chat gets that, you can put a thumbs up.
I need to do this. I don't need landing lights anymore, probably.
Well, you never did turn your lights on. Ooh.
Oh, that's on. Oh, jeez. No
You just
wonder.
turned them on.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord.
you never turned them on.
Oops.
That's fine. You can turn your APU bleed on too, probably, actually.
I blame the first officer for that.
Oh, that's all captain switches. Good fixings. You got that joke? Excellent.
AP bleed. Okay.
Yep, you're good now.
All right. Oh, Jim, yeah, no, like you don't need to do that per se. Like the new Velocity. Well, it's not new anymore, but what XPilot has, which is the pilot client that you use, it has the ability to show real traffic, and it gives you like several updates per second. So it's like you saw, like that was good fixings coming in for landing, and yeah, it's nicely done. So that's all you have to do. You don't have to share IPs anymore. You just have to load in at the same spot at the same time, basically, and you're good to go. I'm trying to find any kind of a gate. Looks like I've got a gate or something right here. I'm totally off, aren't I?
Yeah, get cozy on a gate. We'll
There
go
we
through
go.
the parking together.
There we go. Just like the pros, right there, buddy.
I'm not even going to have you go cold and dark. We're going to leave the APU running and pretend another crew's taking it back out. You can enjoy your overnight in Denver.
All right, where's my dude? Where's my I don't know where my ground handler guy is. How close am I? Am I there? Oh yeah,
you're fine.
I'm a little too
Set
far
that
actually.
parking brake.
All right, parking brake. Whoops. Parking brake is set. Okay.
All right, let's go through the parking check. You can kill your engines because the APU is running the electrical. You can turn your brake fans on. We forgot to do that.
All right, brake
That's
fans.
an FO thing, so that's on me. Brake fans are in the center panel.
Oh,
Center
center
panel. Near the brake auto, near the gear lights. Near the gear lights, on below your glare shield. Brake fan. There you go.
Okay.
Alright, so parking brake accumulator is in the green, so you can turn the parking brake on. We have seatbelt sign off.
That's here, right? Yep, off.
Yellow extra pump's already off. Anti-ice is already off. Engine master is already off. Electric power is good. So beacon off.
Beacon off. Okay, beacon off.
You can turn all your fuel pumps off.
Oops,
You
I
don't
don't
have to
need that
do
one.
nope, and your transfer nope.
Oh, gosh.
Nope. Go up a little further. Let's see. You're good. Off. Where am I looking at? Why does that not seem right? Give me a second.
So JW Cruise, I wish there was.
No, you're good. Yeah,
honestly,
they're off. Yeah, you're good. We're
it's
good.
just a matter of like
Alright.
Like you just kind of have to go through, like most of them, like 99% of them, you can just bring over from X-Plane 11.
Cross speed's already auto.
But there's going to be,
good.
you'll see when
Slide
you
should
get
be
some errors
disarmed.
with scenery,
You
you'll
can't
see
check
which ones
going on.
need to be updated. It's not very many right now.
Pretty much done. The only
Ooh,
thing
wait,
then
wait.
we would do as our post-flight actions is we would dim the DUs, we would print out the after-action report, and there's a couple other things, but that's nothing you have to
I
worry
have
about in the
strobes
sim.
on
So
still.
all your strobes are on. You can turn all your lights off here.
Gotta turn all that off.
Everything
yeah.
off except for the nav lights in terms of the lights.
All right, strobes. Oh, I turned it to on instead of off. I want the nav light on. Yeah, buddy. Okay.
Your nav lights stay on, especially if it's going back out, but everything else should be off.
I want the logo so people can see that I ride for the brand right there, buddy.
Yeah, the logo's fine.
Now, okay, so this I
You're
should
done.
have. Now I should have, since this is an X-Plane 12 airport. It should. Why doesn't it toggle the jetway? It's supposed to. Every airport's supposed to have automatic jetways. But anyway, yeah, America. Well, JPC,
Well,
doggone
like
it,
I
buddy.
said, since we're leaving it for another crew, you're done.
That was fun, man. I thank you so much. And people need to understand that something about Mike Sanante is he reached out to me. It wasn't me begging him. I mean, I've begged him for several things, but he's like, "Hey, when do you want to fly the A320?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know why." I mean, he's like, I could show you a thing or two. So anyway, Mike, thank you so very, very much. This was an awesome flight, and I cannot wait to go back and rewatch this and add to my notes and try to get good at this plane.
Looking forward to seeing you on it more often.
All right, let's take a look at the review of the flight. Let's see what's the take here. Look at
Good night,
all
chat.
that. We'll see you, buddy. Thank you again. All right, the landing rate 1.41 Gs. I will take that. 160, yeah, whatever. That is what it is. And 151. I think we hit our numbers pretty well. I think I was down the runway a little bit though. That's kind of the main thing. Like, yeah, I was a little far down. I don't necessarily think I maybe got it down in the touchdown zone. Replay. All right, Cargo Fire. I'm going to attempt to replay, but it's been a little crazy for me. So this may be where my stream crashes. Let's see what it does here. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Wait, we're there. Oh, wait, too far. We might be okay. Come on, baby. Back it up just a little bit. Okay, here we go. Outside view. Let's take a look. Let's see how we did. Jim, thanks for coming, buddy. Good to talk to you, man. Yeah, see, I really floated that sucker down there a ways, didn't I? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah, I was way down. Yeah. And right of the center line, and then I zigzagged. Yeah. That was not good. Let's do the trespass review. A little bit of a crosswind, but I was okay right there. But I just kind of kept sliding to the left, didn't I? Oh man, yeah, ole, 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 ole. Okay, fair enough. Man, I'm glad that the replay mode's working. Let's see what it looks like from the old cheap seats here. I did. I let the wind take me. You're right, JPC. I'm thinking to myself, man, that's pretty smooth. Oh, yeah, it wasn't that horribly bad, honestly. I'm glad replay mode is working. Let's see what the tower view looks like. There I am, tower view. Everybody looks good from the tower view. Super stable, just like a pro. Coming on down. Yeah. I pulled back a little early, I think. I've got to be patient and let it come all the way down to 20. Firm but fair. There we go. Yeah, next time better crosswind landing. Because I also didn't get my left landing gear down first like I should have. Oh well, things to work on, right? Like nobody expected the first flight to be El Perfecto. Okay, guys, I tell you what, that was a total blast. A complete and 100% blast. I haven't had that much fun in a long time. I'm going to go ahead and try to wrap things up here and hand you off to somebody, but let's do this.
Thanks for watching my papa.
So many thank yous tonight. .34, thank you so much for the 12-month re-ascription. Edmund Stoner, thank you for 8 months. And Smitty, 16 months, my man, thank you so much. Good Fixins, 17-month re-ascription. And Rock Valkyrie, 25 months. Thank you so much. And you guys, Fixie, Rob, and Smitty, thanks for flying along with me. That was a lot of fun having some buddies on the comms there, especially at the end there where we were just coming in basically via Unicom there. Yeah, man, I did too. .34, I learned a ton, absolute ton. We had also some new follows here. We had Latishare 97 pushing that follow button, and yeah, appreciate that, guys. I tell you, we're getting close to 1,000. We get to 1,000, we're gonna have a celebration. We're gonna have a giveaway, all that good stuff. So that's imminent. And then of course the man of the hour, Mr. Jet Pilot Cinnamon, Mike Sanante. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know that you are crazy busy, and for you to spend 3 hours with me, it means a ton. So thank you for that. And yeah, appreciate you, brother. Love you, and I hope you get to feeling better soon. Okay, I tell you what, I'm looking for somebody here, and I was going to go to Tree Fox. He looks like he's done. Looks like Sim Caesar's done. And holy cow, who are we going to go see here? What are we going to go see? I've got Bill Pirelli. I guess he's always entertaining. Let's go say hey to Bill Pirelli. We haven't actually seen him online for a while, so let's go say hi to him, and yeah, continue the love. So I don't know, everybody's gone from my house, so I might be streaming here a couple more times this week. I'll let you know. Connect with me via Discord, and I'll let you know. But anyway, have a great evening, and can't wait to fly with you again. Edmund, take care, buddy. Jim, Jay, Smitty, Fixie, all you guys that have been here. I have a Scotsman. Thanks for coming. Cargo Fire. We'll talk soon, guys. Take care. God bless.